of the Bulldog Sports Network.
You can wrap it in maroon and white.
Live from News Park in Starkville, this is Mississippi State Softball. Mississippi State Softball is sponsored by C-Spire, customer inspired. First pitch is just moments away. Now let's go live to the broadcast booth for Mississippi State Softball.
Good morning and welcome into the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. We're here for Game 3 at News Park on the beautiful campus of Mississippi State University in Starkville, Mississippi, between the number 13 Bulldogs of Mississippi State and the number 8 Razorbacks of Arkansas. Good to have you by my side today. I'm Ty Goldman here with the Bulldog Student Sports Network as well on Learfield, on HailState.com and the Hail State app, and on the Bulldog Student Sports Network on YouTube. And an exciting Game 3 once again for Mississippi State. Bulldogs lost yesterday, won in Game 1, so the series dead set at 1, and a rubber match upcoming at 11 o'clock in just about 14 minutes here in Starkville. With the loss yesterday, Bulldogs fall to 34-10 and 6-8. Arkansas with the win, 34-6 and 9-5. Bulldogs, again, another Game 3 for them. They have been accustomed to this throughout SEC play. In fact, every single SEC series the Bulldogs have played so far this season, that's 5 now with this Arkansas series this weekend, has gone to a deciding Game 3. Bulldogs did it a little bit more unconventionally this week than they had done over the past 4 series. MSU won Game 1, as I mentioned. They had only won Game 2s in their past 4 series, but they won Game 1, lost Game 2 yesterday, so looking to win Game 3 today to win their second straight SEC home series and defeat a really solid top 10 ball club in Arkansas. If you missed us yesterday and you missed us on Friday, let's look back at the first 2 games of this series. First, we'll take a look at what happened on Friday. Bulldogs won 1-0 in a pitcher's duel here Friday night in Starkville, and Mississippi State got a really, really good start from Paige Gould, an incredible start from her, a complete game shutout for her, and she went, obviously, complete game. Only gave up 2 hits as well, only 2 walks, only had 3 strikeouts, but it was a Mississippi State defense that played really, really solid on Friday night, and it was enough for Mississippi State to keep Arkansas off the boards. And Arkansas only had 2 hits as well in that ball game, so they left 5 on base, but Razorbacks really couldn't get the bats going in that ball game. Defense and the pitching and Paige Gould, fantastic in that game. Mississippi State obviously only scored 1, and the only run scored was on a pass ball. But the Bulldogs had 5 hits in that ball game, left 8 on base, consistently had traffic on the base pass in the ball game there, and eventually State broke through and scored in the 5th inning. It was Kiara Sell scoring on a pass ball, and Mississippi State won that game 1-0 over Arkansas. You look what happened yesterday, and it was Arkansas with the 8-0 run rule victory. It's the first time Mississippi State's been run ruled this season, and it comes in a Game 2 here at home. Arkansas won 8-0 in 5. It was quite simple. Arkansas put 8 hits and 8 runs, all of their runs and hits up in the 5th inning. Kind of just broke loose in that one. You're expecting to see it at some point from this Razorback offense, one of the best in the conference and one of the best in the entire country as well. And you saw it yesterday in the 5th inning. Like I said, 8 hits alone and 8 runs scored in that 5th inning. Bulldogs just kind of had it pile on to them, and not a lot you can do in that situation. The only thing you could say is needed to provide a little bit more offense earlier in the ballgame. Bulldogs only had 1 hit yesterday and only left 1 on base as well. You had Peyton Burnham, who had a really, really solid start, a complete game shutout for her against Mississippi State yesterday. Went 5 innings, as obviously the game ended after 5 of the run rule for Arkansas. Only gave up 1 hit, only 1 walk, only had 1 strikeout, but again, Arkansas's defense, kind of like State's defense in Game 1, played phenomenal, and Arkansas's defense has done that the entire series so far. Bulldogs have one error throughout these first two games. Arkansas with not a single error so far throughout these first two ball games. And so you've seen the defense on display in this one, but Arkansas's offense was on display yesterday in Game 2, like I said, with that 8-run fifth inning, 8 hits as well. And Bulldogs will have to focus on getting early first pitch strikes, early and often getting first pitch strikes as well as playing clean defense again. Same for Arkansas. It's going to be, again, a really interesting matchup today because you've got Arkansas's offense who feels like they've kind of broke the seal this weekend, and also you have an Arkansas pitching staff and defense that hasn't allowed an earned run in a number of ball games in 5 straight SEC ball games as well. They didn't allow an earned run last weekend, and against Auburn, hadn't allowed one this weekend as well. Like I said, the 1 run scored from State was on a pass ball, so that was an unearned run right there. So again, Arkansas's defense has been hot, and they started cold offensively, but finally broke through. And for the Bulldogs, the pitching staff has been the key all year. But it's going to be interesting to see how State matches up with an Arkansas offense that's got some confidence now and some momentum. And also for Mississippi State, it's going to be interesting to see how they respond offensively. Been tough cooking. It was tough cooking yesterday for them offensively. On Friday, you got the 1 run. You had runners aboard, but you just struggled to score runners in scoring position. State struggled with that all season. You hope that Mississippi State can find a way to break through this afternoon and this morning and find a way to score early and often, score with runners on base, and be successful with runners in scoring position. We've got the national anthem coming up here in Starkville. We're going to take a break, and then we'll have a pregame interview with Coach Samantha Ricketts for you after that break. This is the pregame show. I'll get it right eventually. The pregame show on the Bulldog Student Sports Network, and this is Mississippi State softball from the BSSN and Lear Field.
Trey Willis, shortstop.
Marshall Jones, first baseman.
Alex Philbin, center fielder.
Hi, I'm Tim from C Spire. Am I in the right place?
It always pays to have the right players on your team. That's why C Spire gives you fiber-fast home internet, nationwide 5G wireless, and best-in-class business solutions, all backed by local 24/7 support. C Spire, customer inspired.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Jake Mangum here. When I'm at the plate, I'm always looking for an edge. So when I'm shopping for auto insurance, I'm always looking to save. That's why I'm going with Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance to keep me covered. They're always finding ways to save you money, like a 7% discount when you sign up for paperless billing and documents. Go to msfbins.com and discover how much you can save on auto insurance, or find a local agent and get started today. Go with the home team. Go with Farm Bureau Insurance.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime, world-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Student Sports Network and into our pregame show. Just about 6 minutes, maybe give or take 6 minutes from first pitch here between Mississippi State and Arkansas in a series-deciding Game 3. I went down and talked with your Bulldog head coach and Samantha Ricketts earlier before the ball game, and here's what she had to say about today's Game 3. I'm here with your Bulldog coach, Samantha Ricketts. Coach, listen, you didn't go your way yesterday, but obviously you got that win in Game 1. So here you are again in SEC play with a chance to win in Game 3 on Tufts Sunday. Obviously, you would rather got it done in 2 yesterday, but it's got to feel good to at least be in the mix on for Game 3 and be able to go out and try and win this series today. What's key for your team to be able to get it done and win their second straight SEC home series?
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of our game is no matter, what the score was yesterday, we 0-0, we get to come back on day 3 with a chance to win the series. So, I think it's just flushing it, moving on and learning from that loss and coming out ready to play our game and clean up some things that we didn't like about not just our on-field, but our off-field energy and just the way we held ourselves to our standard yesterday.
Hey, Coach, we talk about pitching real quick. I mean, obviously yesterday, Arkansas, that 8-run 5th inning, kind of felt like they broke through. They had been held for quite some time in, Game 1 and Game 2. Kind of felt like they broke through. They got a little bit of momentum now. How key is it going to be for your pitchers to get first pitch strikes early and often, as well as your defense play complete softball behind them?
Yeah, I mean, they're a great offense for a reason. We know that they're going to find ways to score runs, get runners on base, and we have to minimize. And, that inning just kind of snowballed away from us. But good, I think still some good things. Got to see Delaney Everett get back in there and shut it down and get us back in the dugout and just, trying to take the little wins where we can and knowing that that's not our expectation for our pitching staff and the standards they hold themselves to and just coming in ready to attack and, just trying to play clean in all 3 phases today.
Obviously, offensively, it was a struggle yesterday. You got the one run, though, on Game 1 on Friday, so you're able to just keep runners on base and cause some havoc, and you're able to score 1. What's the key today? Keep runners on base. Kind of what's the approach you're wanting to see from your offense today?
Just, I think, a little bit more aggressive and going up there confident when we get in the box and knowing that we're the one in control and just not being defensive and making our adjustments and learning from the at-bats in front of us, I think is going to be huge for us today.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
That was your Bulldog head coach in Samantha Ricketts about 50 minutes ago before pregame. Glad to go down and talk with her, and she's really excited about this one, as you should be. Another Game 3 opportunity to win a series for Mississippi State. Again, good morning to you here on the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. I'm Ty Goldman alongside you for today's series deciding Game 3 between Mississippi State and Arkansas. We got the starting lineups here for both teams, and why not give them to you here as we're around 5 minutes until first pitch. So first for the Razorbacks of Arkansas. They will start with the center fielder. Batting first, the center fielder, the senior in Reagan Johnson. Again, I don't believe, and I looked at it a little bit, I don't believe a lot of change in this starting lineup for the Razorbacks at all. I think they've kept the same lineup in a row in games 1 through 3 now. Reagan Johnson will lead off, a center fielder, senior with a .358 batting average. In the 2 spot, going to be the designated player, freshman in Brinley Bain. 3 spot, and over at the hot corner, the sophomore third baseman, Ella McDowell, a .355 batting average. In the cleanup spot today, the hot hitter in left field, and the lefty as well in the at the dish, Dakota Kennedy, senior with a .358 batting average, had a home run yesterday in the ball game. Batting in the 5 spot over at first base, going to be the senior in Tiana Bell with a .402 batting average. Batting in the 6 spot and over at shortstop, going to be the senior Italia Rio with a .366 batting average coming into this ball game. Batting in the 7 spot and out in right field, going to be the senior Kaylee Wyckoff, a .385 batting average. Batting in the 8 spot and behind the plate, going to be the catcher in Kennedy Miller, junior with a .328 batting average. And rounding out the order, going to be the second baseman, senior in Carly Davison, .360 batting average for her. And they'll go with Robin Heron once again, senior with a 1.42 ERA. Had a good outing on Friday, just didn't get the win as Arkansas was held scoreless. We'll get you more info on her when we get to the bottom half of this first inning. For Mississippi State, they lead off with Kiara Sells out and right, and the senior with a .398 batting average. Batting second, the shortstop Morgan Stiles, a sophomore with a .343 batting average. Nadia Barbary moves back up to the 3 spot over at the hot corner at third base, the senior with a .343 batting average, batting in the cleanup spot. And over at first base today, going to be Paige Ernst, a sophomore with a .161 batting average, a designated player. And in the 5 spot today, the senior with a .265 batting average, and Anna Carter in the 6 spot. And out in left field, going to be the senior Morgan Bernardini. She's got a .273 batting average coming into this ball game. In the 7th spot behind the plate once again in this series, the catcher Des Rivera, senior with a .270 batting average. Out and starting in center field again, as she did in Game 1, is going to be the freshman in Kinley Keller, and she's in the 8th spot in the order, a .327 batting average. And rounding out the order for State, over at second base, starting like she did yesterday, going to be the freshman Gabby Schaefer with a .283 batting average. And then Peja Gould going to be the starter today for Mississippi State, senior righty with a 1.33 ERA, 14-6 record on the year. This will be her 28th appearance and 19th start. 11 complete games so far. One of them came on Friday. 115 and 2/3 innings pitched, 55 hits, given up 29 runs, 22 of them earned, 29 walks, 143 strikeouts, and batters with a 138 batting average against her. Umpires today, behind home plate, going to be Anthony Williams. At first base, Ronald White. Manning over at third, and second will be Anthony Small. Bulldogs in the white tops with maroon sleeves, maroon script state across the front, maroon pants with white striping, and most of them wearing maroon visors as well. Arkansas in all red with white striping down the pants and white striping on the sleeves. So the white Razorback logo on the left side of the jersey, top left side, and on the bottom right side, white numerals, and they've got the white visors on today. So there's your starting lineups, and we'll flow right into the start of this ball game. Again, a series-deciding Game 3 for Mississippi State. Once again, every series so far this year has gone to 3 obviously it's gone to 3 ball games, but State has had the opportunity to win a series on the day of Game 3, and so another chance to do that here. State did that last time they were here at home. Did come on a Sunday. It was a Saturday, Sunday, Monday series for Mississippi State, but the Bulldogs will have a chance here on Sunday to win the series with they've had that chance, like I said, all year, but won 2 weeks ago against South Carolina in Game 3 to clinch their first SEC series of the season. And played a close game last week in Gainesville in Game 3, lost by 1 run. It came down to a final play at the plate, and so the Bulldogs have been close in the last couple of Game 3s and have been close all season, so looking to win their second straight SEC home series. Reagan Johnson going to stand in. Here's the first pitch to her, showing bunt, but pulls back for ball 1. First pitch at 11:02 a.m. Central Time here in Starkville, Mississippi. Again, I'm Ty Goldman with the Bulldog Student Sports Network on YouTube. Glad to have you with me for the series-deciding Game 3. There's a strike from Peja Gould, and the count goes to 1-1. Johnson so far throughout this series, 1 for 6. Yesterday drove in a run, one of the 8 that scored, and also came around to score as well. This one misses outside for ball 2. One of the 8 that scored and also drove in one as well, so looking to improve on what she did yesterday. Here comes the 2-1 to her. This one, just misses low. And so now quickly the count in favor of Johnson. 3 balls and 1 strike. Wind blowing hard out to center, really whipping out there. Most wind we've had through these first 2 ball games and now into this third one. And there's a strike on the outer edge. Johnson was scooting down the first base and has to come back in the batter's box. And so the count runs full, 3-2. Gould with 3 strikeouts on Friday and looking to get her first here. Had one in the first inning on Friday as well. Looking for it here. This one a hard line drive through the 6-hole and in the left field. And a good start for the Razorbacks. Looking to continue on that offensive momentum from yesterday. A leadoff single for Johnson. And there's 1 aboard with nobody out in the top half of the first. So now Brinley Bain going to stand in. Bain, a solid afternoon yesterday, 1 for 2, and then 1 for 3 on Friday. Had one of the 2 Razorback hits. Drove in 2 runs as well yesterday and came around the score. Like I've been mentioned a couple times, all in that 5th inning for the Razorbacks. First pitch to her misses outside for ball 1. Catches the inner half. Rivera, nice job behind the plate to frame that one. In the count now 1 ball and 1 strike. Coming into this month by Softball America, rated the number 6 pitcher in the month of April. A swing and a miss from Bain for strike 2. So Gould ahead in the count now, 1 ball to 2 strikes. State also with Faircloth as number 7 in that same poll. And Bulldogs with one of only 2 teams in the country with 2 pitchers in that top 10. Here's the 1-2. This misses high, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bain, a fantastic freshman season, swinging it with an average of .413. Was a number 9 prospect coming out of high school by perfect game and has lived up to it in Fayetteville. This one misses outside. The count runs full now, 3-2. So Gould trying to keep the first 2 runners off base here, trying to go get Brinley Bain, but Bain fighting in the count. Here's the 3-2 pitch, swinging a slow grounder over to second. Going to only have time for 1 to throw over in time to first base. So Bain is retired. Johnson moves up to second. It's a 4-3 fielder's choice, and a productive out for the Razorbacks, and for Brinley Bain is now Ella McDowell stand in with a runner in scoring position here in the first inning for the Hogs. Oh, to McDowell in there, called strike 1. You look at, Gould had that complete game shutout. So now on the season, 8 shutouts. Coming in, she had 7, which was the 3rd most in the country, most in the SEC, so that's improved. But just a really solid performance from her. Didn't fret with runners on base as the 0-1 misses away for ball 1. Here comes the 1-1, swing and a miss, strike 2. So getting ahead in the count again here on McDowell. See if she can record an out without Johnson moving ahead of base. But sensational night for her on Friday. Just continued to battle even with runners on base for the Hogs. This one floated over the head of Schaefer and into right field. Here comes the runner to the plate. Ernstis thought she was going to cut off, but it gets to the plate, but the runner and Johnson safe. And here comes Arkansas early in the ball game. A RBI single in the right, and the Hogs have a 1-0 lead here in Game 3. That one just a flare out to right center and dropped. Throw took a couple of hops into the infield. Thought Ernstis was going to cut that one off, but did not let it. She let it come through, and throw just wasn't in time. Johnson was moving around the bases, and Hogs up 1-0 as Dakota Kennedy stands in, takes the first pitch ball. Kennedy had that 3-run home run yesterday in the 5th. This one misses off the inner edge. Count now 2-0. It brought her home run total to 14 on the season. 2-0 right down Broadway for strike 1. I mean, you look at what she's done in SEC play, at least coming into this one too. A .368 batting average in SEC play coming into this series. Has the best on the Razorbacks ball club. The most hits in SEC play as well. Most RBIs. And the senior transfer from Arizona. It's been a huge portal pickup for the Razorbacks. 2-2 count on her. Here's the pitch. This one grounded over the right side. Going to be a tough play for Schaefer. It gets in the right field. McDowell will stay put at second base. And the Razorbacks with 3 early hits here. All singles in the first inning. And Rivera, as well as her middle infielders in Stiles and Schaefer. That's Ernstis. Going to go talk with her in the circle. Going to talk with Paige Gould, and so hopefully can calm her down. Razorbacks seen her well here. It's going to be a ball game where State's going to have a solid offensive output. Feel like, Arkansas kind of broke the seal yesterday with that 8-run 5th. Kind of got where they needed to be, and so State's going to have it working today offensively. First pitch strike to Tiana Bell. Bell had 2 hits yesterday. Obviously, both of those coming in the 5th inning. Arkansas batted around that inning. There's a strike, and the count quickly in favor of Gould, 0-2. Bell down in the count here. Bell's average now sits 2 points above 400 at 402. This one misses. Low and inside for ball one. But a 402 average now. Most hits in this Arkansas lineup and on the team is 49. This one sent in the center and will get down past the glove of Schaefer. In trouble with it in center field. Keller had trouble and the run will score. McDowell safe at home plate, standing up. Advancing to third is Kennedy. And with only one out in the inning, still runners at the corners for Arkansas. And the Razorbacks lead 2-0. So if Keller doesn't have trouble with that thing in center, that run is just not going to score. Third base coach for Arkansas was not sending the runner in McDowell, but ended up sending her after that ball was booted in center field. And so early 4 hits here, all singles for Arkansas in the first inning, but take it any way you can get it. They've scored 2 runs and still traffic on the base pass. The runners at the corners and 1 out here on the top of the first inning. Talia Rio going to stand in. First pitch to her misses low for ball 1. Rio's average now sitting at 366. Went 0 for 3 yesterday. This one misses low and outside for ball 2. 0 for 2 on Friday. Did walk, so has reached once this series, but 0 for 5 collectively. So looking for a first hit in the series here. This one smoked over towards the camera over at first base, and luckily cameraman able to get out of the way right there. It was right at him. But a hard hit ball turned on there and foul, and so the count now 2 balls and 1 strike on the Razorback senior shortstop. Runners at the corners, Kennedy at third, Bell at first base for the Hogs. Razorbacks lead 2-0. They've added 2 here in the first inning of the ball game. 2-1 misses outside, now the count 3-1. Wyckoff standing on deck for the Razorbacks. 1 out in the inning. Here's the pitch. 3-1, misses outside. Bases are juiced for Arkansas. You might see Tara Moat-McKinney come out of the dugout, and she will, and she'll go talk with Peja Gould. So they're seeing her well here early on. Obviously, got Faircloth there a little bit yesterday in the 5th inning. Got to Layla Amon as well. Delaney Everett came in and pitched some solid relief for Mississippi State yesterday. Only allowed 1 hit and didn't allow a run. So, again, they've seen 3 of our main 3 pitchers really well as of late. Obviously, Gould today and then Amon and Faircloth yesterday. So, again, just proves to the point that Mississippi State's going to have some offensive success today. They could get left behind in Game 3. Coach Ricketts came out as well. She was talking with her infield, and so both Ricketts and Coach Taryn Moat-McKinney will come back to the dugout. We'll resume play here. Kaylee Wyckoff going to stand in. Bases loaded for Arkansas with 1 out, and they have already scored 2 here in the top half of the first. First pitch to Wyckoff in there, called strike 1. Wyckoff average at 385. He's had a couple opportunities this year with the bases loaded. Not the greatest results, a 143 average with the bases loaded. Ground ball to second, throw to second in time, and the throw to first not in time as Wyckoff down the line safely. And a run comes in to score for Arkansas. Bulldogs can't turn the double play. Wyckoff speed gets the Razorbacks out of a inning-ending twin killing, and so 3-0 our score. 4-6 fielder's choice. So that'll go down in the books. The Razorbacks have added 3 here in the first. Kennedy Miller now due up. Hogs all the way down the 8th spot in the order. First pitch and off-speed pitch, and it's in there for a called strike 1. Slow grounder over to third and just goes foul as Barbary picks it up, throws it back to her pitcher. So now Gould ahead in the count, 0-2. Looking to get out of this inning and get State's bats up. The Bulldogs can try and respond. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. 0-2 count to Miller. Swinging a foul ball back. Count will stay where it is for the time being. Miller, excellent with 2 outs, excellent with runners on and runners in scoring position this year. Overall, an excellent hitter, too. .328 batting average. Average is over 400 with runners on, runners in scoring position, and 2 outs. This one gets in the dirt. Rivera with a nice block up, but Wyckoff able to move to second base. Runner at third, and Bell stays put. So now 2 runners in scoring position. 1-2 count on the Razorbacks catcher and Miller. State trying to limit the damage. Here's the pitch. Swung on, sent into left field. Ranging back is Bernardini. Right in front of the warning track for out number 3. And so Mississippi State able to get out of the top half of the first. The night after, Arkansas adds a 3-piece. 3 runs on 4 hits. 1 error for Mississippi State in the first inning. And the Razorbacks do leave 2 on base, both in scoring position. And so, again, it's going to be a ball game where State's going to have success offensively. We'll see if they can do it. They'll face off against Robin Herron. Herron comes in with a 1.42 ERA. Look at her statistics real quick. The lefty senior obviously pitched on Friday. I'll talk about that in just a second. But overall, 1.42 ERA, 11-3 record on the season. This will be her 19th appearance and 13th start. Has gone 5 complete ball games, 69 flat innings pitched, 41 hits, 22 runs, 14 of them earned, 28 walks, 113 strikeouts. Batters with an average of 165 against her on Friday. She went 4 1/3, gave up 5 hits, 1 run scored while she was in the ball game. It was not earned; it was scored on a pass ball. And 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. Faced 22 batters through 91 pitches. So they went with Herron to start, and then for the final inning in 2/3, it was Saylor Timmerman in relief, who didn't allow a hit in 5 batters that she saw. So, but they'll start with Herron in this one. Bulldogs, saw her well. It felt like they're in game 1. Obviously, the 5 hits and were able to walk 3 times too, and so. And also reached on a hit by pitch as well. So, Herron obviously has been one of the better pitchers in this Arkansas bullpen, especially in conference play. Coming in ERA in SEC play of 1.79, and that's decreased after not allowing an earned run yesterday. And so only 2 earned runs now in her last 8 appearances as well. And Arkansas, like I mentioned, has not allowed an earned run in the past, I believe, 5 ball games in SEC play, 2 in this series, and then all 3 in the sweep over Auburn. Kiara Sells will now stand in for Mississippi State as State tries to respond here in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch to her right down the middle for strike 1. Sells average just 2 points below 398, 2 points below 400 at 398. Most hits on this roster at 47. Top 10 in the conference in doubles with 12. Swinging a foul ball back to the netting, and she's quickly down to the count 0-2. Also, most home runs on this roster as well with 13. OBP solid as well, 514. So, again, she's been solid throughout conference play and obviously throughout the whole season. Here's the 0-2. Misses high for ball one. Sells 0 for 2 yesterday, 0 for 2 on Friday, did draw a walk. Went 0 for 1 yesterday as well and also drew a walk, so has only reached on walk. She's on a 12-game reach base streak. This one fouled over towards right field. See if it stays fair. Diving effort from 2 Razorbacks, but the play is not made. That was the right fielder and Wyckoff diving as well as Davison. Bell was there, did not give a diving effort there, as it was Davison and Wyckoff closest to it, and no catch made, and so Sells will stay alive for the time being. One, 2 from Heron. Swing, foul ball back, and Key staying alive in a count here. As it stays at 1-2. Heron, as I mentioned, 5 strikeouts on Friday. Sells struck out 1 time in that ball game, and did strike out against Heron in that one. She strikes out here, a swing and a miss. And first batter retired for Mississippi State in the bottom half of the first inning, and now Morgan Stiles will stand in. Stiles standing in a .343 batting average. First pitch to her misses high for ball one. Went 1 for 3 on Friday. 0 for 2 on Saturday, yesterday, so 1 for 5 in this series. Fouls the 1-0 back. Account will stay 1 ball, or will even up rather, 1-1. In SEC play now, Stiles, the .279 batting average, second highest on this Bulldog roster. The 1-1 misses low for ball 2. State with only 1 hitter above 300 in SEC play. That's Nadia Barbary, who's on deck, has a .341 batting average in conference play. Stiles, a hard hit ball towards the gap and right, but Wyckoff over to make the grab. Got a good jump on it and able to make it for out number 2. And so the Bulldogs with 2 early outs here in the first. Still trying to respond from that 3-run top half of the inning for Arkansas. Score sits at 3-0. Nadia Barbary going to stand in for Mississippi State and try and keep the inning alive. She sends this one to left, gives it a good ride. Back at the wall and gone into the trees in left field. And State answers here for the moment. A solo home run for Barbary in the left field for her. 2 straight weekends that she's had a home run in SEC play. Had 2 last weekend in Gainesville. Has 1 this weekend. And the Bulldogs cut the deficit to 2. For Barbary, look at how many home runs. That's 11 home runs now on the season. Paige Ernst is now going to stand in for Mississippi State. First pitch to her, a ball, and this one misses outside as well. The count now 2-0. So big answer there for Mississippi State. And Barbary, senior, able to make a big hit for the Bulldogs and put some momentum back on their side a little bit. 2-0. Misses outside as well. The count now 3-0. So it'll be a 4-pitch walk here. Bulldogs could keep cooking with 2 outs. Barbary with that home run to left. Carter on deck. 3-0 from Heron. Misses outside. No, just got it to pull back and catch the outer half for strike 1. Thought it was going to miss, and Count now 3-1. Here he is, the 3-1. Pop straight up in the air. Shortstop Rio back on it. Center fielder in Johnson as well in on it. But Rio going to make the grab for out number 3. Bulldogs, though, able to add a run this inning. A solo shot from Nadia Barbary cuts the deficit to 2. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base for Mississippi State. As we head to the top half of the second inning, Bulldogs trail here in a series-deciding Game 3, 3-1 to Arkansas. Razorbacks will have Davison, Johnson, and Bain due up next, and they're trying to do what they did last inning with that 4-hit inning and the 3 runs as well, and so trying to do what they did last inning, and Mississippi State trying to prevent that. 3-1 our score as we head to the second inning. Arkansas on top. I'm Tad Goldman, and this is Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network in Learfield.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C Spire. Customer inspired.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
Welcome back on the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. I'm Ty Goldman alongside you here. Game 3 between Mississippi State and Arkansas. The Razorbacks lead 3-1 as we head to the top half of the second inning. They'll have Davison, Johnson, and Bain due up. Peja Gould back out in the circle for Mississippi State. First pitch to Carly Davison. Swung on and fouled back for strike 1. The Bulldogs able to add 1 in the bottom of the first after that 3-run top half of the inning for the Razorbacks. The 1 run came on a solo home run from Nadia Barbary. 243 feet out to left field. State cuts the deficit now to 2. 0-1 misses at the knees. Count evens at 1-1 on Carly Davison. Davison's average at .360. This one catches the outer half. The count now 1-2 on her. Went 0 for 1 yesterday. Did drive in a run, though. Was able to walk, which drove in a run with the bases loaded in the 5th inning. And also came around to score. This one a grounder over to third. Nice pick over there by Barbary. Throw over in time. And a nice play over there at the hot corner from Nadia Barbary. 5-3 put out. 1 gone in the top half of the second inning. And the lineup now flips over for Arkansas. Starts out with Reagan Johnson. Johnson singled to start that first inning for the Razorbacks, one of the 4 hits they had. 0-2 are going to miss outside. She was showing bunt there. Has really done that all weekend on first pitches to her. Barbary playing in at the bag at third. Really halfway down the line. And backs up a little bit now. More of a third of the way down the line. 1-0 count to her. This one slapped over to short. Styles up with it. Throw to first in time for out number 2. Quick couple of ground outs for Mississippi State. Better start to the inning for Peja Gould here in the second rather than the first. Still got to get through Brinley Bain. But 2 outs in the inning and nobody aboard. Bain has had a hit apiece in each of these 2 ball games earlier on Saturday and Friday. First pitch to her, a strike. 0 for 1 so far today. Grounded out in the first inning. Over towards Schaefer at second base. Big swing and a miss out in front of the off-speed pitch from Gould. And Bulldogs righty ahead in the count now 0-2. State trying to go 1-2-3. Keep the momentum on their side. And get the sticks back up and moving. Here's the 0-2. That one in the dirt and bouncing the other batter's box. And waste pitch outside for ball 1. One-two. Fouled over towards the on-deck circle. McDowell will make the grab there in the on-deck circle for the Razorbacks. Toss it back to Peja Gould. The count will stay where it is at 1-2. One and two from Gould. Swung on, fouled, and right above the press box onto the roof right above me. Count will stay where it is. Bain giving fight in this order, or in this at bat. Has walked the most on this Arkansas roster and a fantastic on base percentage as well. But a hot shot sent in the right and a 2-out single for Brindley Bain as she's now got a hit in each of the 3 ball games played here in Starkville this weekend. And there's a runner aboard with 2 outs in the inning for Arkansas. And now Ella McDowell going to stand in. With 2 outs, the Bulldogs would like to keep the Razorbacks off the board. Going to be tough to ask for, though, in the top part of this order. McDowell stands in already 1 for 1 today. Drove in a runner in Johnson in the first and a RBI single. First pitch to McDowell misses. Count now 1-0. This one misses as well. Now the count 2-0. With that RBI in the first inning, McDowell now with 43, just behind Tiana Bell. This one misses now. The count 3-0. Thought that one was close. The crowd did too. It's now 3-0 the count. But just behind Tiana Bell is McDowell in RBIs by 2. Bell with the most on the team with 45, and McDowell's got 43. This one misses, and there's a 4-pitch walk, and so now a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. And one of the toughest bats in the order, and Dakota Kennedy going to stand in. Kennedy singled back in the first inning. And this one misses arm side and outside from Gould. Now a couple of balls in a row now. That's 5. Got to find the zone here. Got to be careful, though, with the power hitting Dakota Kennedy. She's just off of that one, swings and fouls it back to the netting for strike 1. Kennedy had that home run yesterday, as I mentioned, in the 5th. Preseason second-team All-American. This one misses outside. Count now 2-1. One of the most coveted transfers for Arkansas, and has gone to work for the Razorbacks in her senior season. The 2-1 misses low, ball 3. And so Gould trying to avoid back-to-back walks here. A walk would load the bases with 2 outs. Back-to-back ground outs to start the inning, but a single and a walk has put runners at first and second. Des Rivera calling time. Looks like maybe trying to tie one of her laces on her mitt. We'll wait for her to do that. She's settled and ready to go. (3-1). This is outside for ball 4. Back-to-back walks for Peja. That's her 3rd walk registered in the ball game. And the bases are loaded with 2 outs for Arkansas's Tiana Bell. So State trying to keep the Razorbacks off the board. Bell first pitch swinging and a foul ball to the State bench. There's strike 1. Wind now blowing out to left field in favor of the pull side for Bell. as she stands in the right-handed batter's box. She's had 12 big flies this season. 0-1 to her. Grounder over to third. Barbary up with it and steps on the bag at third base. And State able to escape the jam. Some late theatrics there from Arkansas with the single and back-to-back walks, but the Bulldogs get out of it anyway. No runs on one hit. No errors and 3 left on base. They're left loaded for Arkansas as we head to the bottom half of the second here in Starkville. And so the score stays where it is, 3-1 between Mississippi State and Arkansas. Arkansas on top in a series-deciding Game 3. And so State will have 5, 6, and 7 due up in Carter, Bernardini, and Rivera. And so the middle half of that order and transitioning into the bottom third of it, or middle third and bottom third. Going to get some work here and facing off again against Robin Heron. Gave up only that solo home run. And again, for Arkansas, that's the first earned run they've allowed in the past 5 ball games. So, I mean, they've been fantastic in not allowing runs. And for the pitcher in Heron, only her 3rd earned run and now her last 8 appearances. I was able to give State obviously some momentum. Able to work through that jam in the top of the second inning, and so hopefully the Bulldogs can put a crooked number on the board here and maybe tie this thing up. Beautiful day at the ballpark here. I think it's maybe dogs at the park day. Seen a lot of dogs around. Hadn't looked, so that might be what it is. But a beautiful day to be out here, watch softball, especially bring your dog out. And then also the lineup on the as Anna Carter stands in. First pitch to her, fouled back for strike 1. You got the picture on the video board of where it would usually be their roster picture for Mississippi State hitters. Shows a picture of their pets, either a dog or a cat. So celebrating the pets this weekend or on this Sunday. This one fouled and the count 0-2. Again, all for Alex weekend as well around the Southeastern Conference. Both teams were wearing teal yesterday to show their support in the fight against ovarian cancer. 0-2 to Carter in the dirt. Here's ball 1. So saw some teal, like I said, all around the Southeastern Conference. In tribute to Alex Wilcox, and like I said, in tribute to the fight against ovarian cancer. The 1-2 in the dirt again. Count 2-2 on Carter. But Carter mentioned it in these previous 2 games, but has been really solid in SEC play for State. That's why she's been drawing the start most of the time at designated player. 1 for 5 so far in this series. Fouls that one away to the State bench. The count will stay where it is. So 1 for 5 in this series. 0 for 2 yesterday. 1 for 3 on Friday. Had a single in the second inning of that ball game, and we're in the second inning here. State at bat, trailing 3-1. 2-2 to Carter. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout of the ball game for Heron. The reigning SEC pitcher of the week. Had 5 in game 1 and already to 2 now as we're got 1 away here in the home half of the second inning, and Morgan Bernardini will stand in. First pitch to her, sent into right center. Might drop and get in the gap. It does, all the way to the wall. Bernardini rounding first and able to cruise in the second with a 1-out double. Trying to fire up the dugout there. I'm sure that will is a big double for Mississippi State. That one just kept cruising into the gap and got away from the right fielder at Wyckoff. Split Wyckoff and Johnson out there in right field and center field. And so Mississippi State with a runner in scoring position for Des Rivera. First time the Bulldogs have had a runner in scoring position. That one run in the first inning scored on a solo home run with the bases empty. And now Des Rivera will stand in. State's first opportunity with a runner, like I said, in scoring position. First pitch to her misses low for ball one. Rivera, 270 batting average. Hasn't been the greatest this season with runners in scoring position, 206. So trying to go against the trend here. She check swings. They'll appeal to third base, and they say she didn't go around. They appeal to third. At first base, umpire over at second in, it's like Ronald White. This one popped up in the air. Calling off is Bell, and able to make the grab for out number 2. And so just quite simply there, an unproductive out. And Rivera back to the dugout. 2 outs in the inning for Mississippi State, as the Bulldogs center fielder and Kinley Keller now going to stand in. And so Keller, who has struggled this series at the plate, looking to provide some big runs for State, but a foul ball over towards right field, and I think the ball was dropped in a collision over there between first baseman Bell and second baseman Davison. I hope they're all right. Davison walking with a bit of a limp. The ball was in the glove of Davison and came out on the collision, and so new life for Kinley Keller. That was close to being a foul ball that got Arkansas out of the inning. And so, like I said, Keller with new life. Everybody okay over there. Glad to see it. But Keller, again, has struggled this series. Did reach on Friday with a walk, but only hit on Friday as well. Went 0 for 2. Has struggled in SEC play, but trying to go against that here. This one grounded down the line at third and foul, and the count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes on her. Arkansas has 6, 7, and 8 due up Rio, Wyckoff, and Miller. In the top of the third inning, we'll see if State runs Peja Gould out there. Bulldogs is trying to add another run here to cut the deficit to 1. The 0-2, swinging a foul ball back, and for the time being, Keller stays alive with a runner at second base and 2 outs. That drop foul ball over there, first error of the series for Arkansas. 0-2, swung on, sent in the left. No, man, a diving play made by Rio at shortstop. Thought that one was most definitely going to get past her diving glove, but it did not. A great play over there. Probably saved a run from scoring for Mississippi State. For State, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and they leave 1 on base in the bottom half of the second inning. Can't cut into the lead. Score remains 3-1 as we head to the third here in Starkville in Game 3 between Mississippi State and Arkansas. Razorbacks have the 3-1 lead. Back in just a moment as Peja Gould back out in the circle to face 6, 7, and 8 in Rio, Wyckoff, and Miller. We'll be back in just a moment. The top half of the third inning, 3-1 our score. Arkansas on top in Game 3. This is Mississippi State softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
Everything is just a little easier when you feel at home. At Cadence Bank, we're proud to be part of your home team, and we never stop working to give you a competitive advantage. Stop by a branch or visit us online at cadencebank.com to learn more about how we're helping opportunity take shape for our community.
There's a hit out to left field. This one is gone.
Cadence Bank, a proud sponsor of Mississippi State Athletics. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
Hey fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fans section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. I'm Ty Goldman alongside you here as we move along to game 3 to the top half of the third inning. Mississippi State trailing Arkansas right now 3-1 in this series deciding game 3. Bulldogs, Razorbacks both scored in the first inning, all their runs coming there. Scoreless second, and so Rio will lead off the third inning, trying to get some runs again on the board for the Razorbacks. First pitch to her from Peja Gould, misses outside for ball 1. Rio walked in her first plate appearance in the first. And now this one hits Rio in the shoulder. So ball and a hit by a pitch right after that. And a leadoff runner aboard for the Razorbacks here. In the top half of the third inning. And now Kaylee Wyckoff going to stand in. First pitch to her right down the middle for strike 1. So the Razorbacks have had a runner aboard every inning. Bulldogs have had that as well. Obviously had the home run, so you had the runner aboard in Barbary, but she was a round tripper for her. This one in the shallow left in foul territory. Bernardini ranging over makes the play for out number 1. Rio staying put over there at first base. One gone here in the Razorback half of the third. So Gould able to shake off the hit by a pitch, and now will face off against the 8-hole hitter in Kennedy Miller. Razorbacks as a team so far. So here's the 0-0 to Miller. Misses low for ball 1 as a team so far. 5 for 12 at the dish. 417 average. They've walked 3 times. Have also drawn a hit by a pitch here in this inning. 1-0, grounded over to third. That one foul. Called foul by home plate umpire Anthony Williams. Looked that way to me up here in the press box as well, and the count will even at 1-1 strike. Would have been a tough play over there for Barbary, so luckily that one was just foul. She would have had to throw across her body there to first base, try and get to Speedy Miller. 1-1 now to her. Catches the outer half. There's strike 2. But with runners on base, too, Arkansas 3 for 8, 375. And with runners in scoring position, which they don't have that right now, but they're 2 for 5, 400. This one hit hard down the third base line, but foul once again. And the count will stay at 1-2 strikes. So the wind now whipping out to left. It's been really going between left and left center and center field. Hadn't blown out to right any. So I feel like it's just going to stay that way. The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. And there's the first strike out of the ball game for Peja Gould, her 4th of the series. So after the leadoff hit by pitch, it's a foul out and a strikeout. 2 gone here in the top of the third. Carly Davison now going to stand in. This one grounded down the line and just foul. Another close one over there. Again, home plate umpire Anthony Williams all over it. 1 strike in the count, no balls. To Carly Davison, grounded out in the second to start that inning for the Razorbacks. The 0-1 to Davison, misses the zone. The count now 1-1. The 9-hole 360 batting average. One of the 7 in this order that have played and started all 40 ball games, and now 41. This one down the line and foul again. Count now 1-2. A transfer from Utah. 2 for 6 last weekend. Drove in 3 for Arkansas against Auburn last weekend. Struggled to find a hit, though, this weekend, but been able to drive in a runner as this one misses outside. Drove in a runner yesterday, and she was able to walk. Deuce is wild now on the top of the third. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at first base. Here's the pitch sent in the right center. Ranging over is Sells and able to make the grab for out number 3. Ball sharply hit towards the gap, but Sells a good jump on it. Makes the grab for out number 3. Razorbacks able to get a runner aboard in the leadoff in Rio, but they leave her stranded. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base as we move to the bottom half of the third inning. Score 3-1. Arkansas on top of Mississippi State. Getting some SEC softball scores pulled up for you. The state will have 9, 1, and 2 due up in Schaefer. Schaefer, Sells, and Stiles. That'll be due up for state, and they'll face off again against Robin Herron. 3-1 score. So some SEC scores around the conference. Look at all the finals yesterday. Yeah, Tennessee with a 5-0 win over Kentucky yesterday. Bama with a 4-0 win over Auburn. So they won the series. Missouri with a 4-3 win over Georgia, so an upset win there. And so we'll see what happens today in Athens. A&M with a 7-5 win over Ole Miss, so they take the series yesterday. And Florida with a 15-2 victory over Carolina. They won the series over the Gamecocks. LSU an upset series win over Arizona. So now they won 3-1 yesterday. Looking for the sweep today. In Oklahoma, wins the series, takes the first 2 over Texas in Austin. 4-3 victory over the Longhorns yesterday after winning game 1. Hey, look at what's going on today. Only game that's live right now is the LSU game against Arizona. The Tigers looking for the sweep. They're up 2-0 right now in the bottom of the third in Baton Rouge. And so you'll have Florida and Carolina at 12. So coming up in just about 9 minutes. Missouri and Georgia at 1. A&M Ole Miss at 1. Oklahoma, Texas at 1. Alabama, Auburn at 1. And Tennessee and Kentucky in game 2 as Tennessee tries to take the series at 5. All those times in Central Time. So there's some scores around the conference. As we move into the bottom of the third. Gabby Schaefer going to stand in for the first time. The Razorbacks leading your Bulldogs 3-1. First pitch to her, a ball so far. Herron through 2 innings pitched, given up 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, that solo home run from Nadia Barbary. No walks, 2 strikeouts. She's faced 8 batters now on her 9th. So Bulldogs line up waiting to flip over. The 1-0. Schaefer pops this one in the air. Over towards the right side and calling everybody off as Davison makes the grab for out number 1. Now the Bulldogs have had that a couple times today where they just pop things up. They're going to get better contact on the ball. They've run into that issue a couple times in this series and a couple times in SEC play. Hopefully the second time around the Order State can find better contact on the balls. Kiara Sells now stands in for the second time. Struck out back in the first. First pitch to her catches the outer half for a called strike 1. Oh, 1 to Sells. This one misses outside and he evens the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. So now Sells in her 5th plate appearance against Herron, or rather, I think her 4th plate appearance against Herron. As this one misses, the count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Hadn't recorded a hit off of her, and hadn't recorded a hit this series. Been able to walk, but has struck out twice against her in her couple of appearances so far in this series. Struck out earlier today, and the 2-1 misses low. The count now 3-1. State looking to get a runner aboard here with one out. Heron has not walked a batter today, walked 3 on Friday. Hit 1 as well. Here's a 3-1. This one fouled off and had a play over towards the tennis courts. Right behind us. The count now 3 balls and 2 strikes. You got, I believe, tennis today taking on Alabama. It's men's tennis. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Sells K's for the second time today. Back-to-back strikeouts for her. For Heron, her 3rd strikeout of the ball game. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 3rd. Morgan Stiles will stand in. Trying to work some 2-out magic. First pitch to her off-speed misses low for ball 1. I believe you got, like I said, tennis today against Alabama. You got game 3 against Tennessee for baseball today as well. This one misses outside for ball 2. Count now 2-0 on Stiles. 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd. 3-1 our score. Arkansas up. Baseball trying to salvage a game in the series. They've dropped 5 straight in conference play after losing last night in game 2 and losing on Friday in game 1 to the Volunteers. It's been a tough couple of weeks for Mississippi State. Got the win in the midweek over UAB. Had to fight for it, but got the win. It's a good UAB team, but they've struggled in their past 2 conference series. The 2-1. Sent into right in foul territory. Diving is Davison, and she's been active in foul territory today and can't make the grab. Wyckoff was coming in on it as well. Ball splits 2 Arkansas defenders, and the count even at 2-2. Deuce is wild in the bottom of the 3rd. 2 outs in the inning. State with the bases empty. Stiles trying to work some 2-out magic like the Bulldogs did in the first inning with that solo home run from Nadia Barbary. Here's a 2-2. Swinging a ground ball over to 3rd. It's foul. McDowell up with it with a backhand play, but just tosses it back to her pitcher. Count stays where it is. Nadia Barbary, who had that solo homer in the first, waiting in the on-deck circle. Stiles trying to stay alive. Count 2-2 on her. Here's the pitch. Into right. Will not drop as Wyckoff was all over it for out number 3. And so the Bulldogs go 3 up, 3 down for the first time in this ball game. It's for Mississippi State, a pop-out, a strikeout, and a fly-out. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. As we move to the 4th inning, Mississippi State trailing Arkansas in a series-deciding game 3, 3-1. Peja Gould back out in the circle for Mississippi State. In the top half of the order due up for Arkansas in Johnson, Bain, or top 3rd, Johnson, Bain, and McDowell. 1, 2, and 3 due up for the Razorbacks. 3-1 our score. Arkansas on top as we head to the top half of the 4th inning. 3-3 here in a series-deciding Game 3 in Starkville. I'm Ty Goldman, and this is Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric, and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. I'm Ty Goldman alongside you. We move to the top half of the 4th inning here in Starkville. The series deciding Game 3 between Mississippi State and Arkansas here at Neuse Park. Razorbacks on top 3-1, looking to add on here with their top third of the order due up. It's Reagan Johnson who stands in. The first pitch to her called a strike one. Peja Gould still back out in the circle for Mississippi State. Through 3 innings so far, has got up 5 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. Has had 3 walks and a hit by pitch as well. Has only struck out 1. Had 2 straight scoreless innings as this one catches his own, a called strike 2. And the count now in favor of Gould. No balls to 2 strikes. But Gould is putting up 2 straight scoreless innings, so trying to keep that trend going here. Johnson almost offered at that one. Trying to slap it over towards the left side, but stays back and misses his own. The count 1-2. Razorbacks 5 hits in the ball game, 3 runs, have left 6 on base. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. For Gould, her second strikeout of the ball game. Back-to-back innings with a strikeout. And so Mississippi State 1 out here in the top half of the 4th inning. You feel like you kind of need to keep Arkansas where they are. Obviously, you'd want to do that, but offense is still having some struggles here for Mississippi State in this ball game, so need to keep the deficit where it's at. Brindley Bang going to stand in. She's 1 for 2 today, singled in her last plate appearance, and this one high and tight. Doesn't hit her, but gets to the backstop as that one's out of the glove of Rivera. No harm, no foul as nobody's on base. Again, just a picturesque day here in Starkville. Great day for a Game 3. This one catches his own now 1-1. State still with the same field alignment. Your battery, Gould in the circle, Rivera behind the plate. I'll get you the rest in a moment. Here's the 1-1. This one hard hit out to left and a single for Bain. Back-to-back plate appearances with a single, and the Razorbacks have life here with 1 out in the home half, the away half of the 4th. Ella McDowell now going to stand in. 1 for 1 today, a single and an RBI in the first and walked in the second. So standing in here in the 4th. So again, State with the same field alignment. Gould in the circle, Rivera behind the plate, and then Barbary at third, Styles at short, Schaefer at second, Ernstis at first. This one hit over to third, 5-4, throw over to first, not in time, but a 5-4 fielder's choice as Barbary able to cut down the leadoff runner in Bain. The lead runner in Bain, and so 2 gone here in the inning, and Dakota Kennedy will stand in with a runner on first and 2 outs. Get you the rest of that field alignment for State. Bernardini in left, Keller still in center, and Kiara Sells still in right. So same 9 out there for the Bulldogs. Kennedy standing in 1 for 1 today. Single in the first, walk in the second, just like McDowell. First pitch to her misses low and outside for ball 1. One-0 to her. Tried to curve into the zone, but doesn't quite do it. Count now 2 balls and no strikes. Just missed outside there. To the lefty and Kennedy. Runner at first is McDowell. 2 outs in the inning in the top of the 4th. This one misses outside as well. And, at least you could say Anthony Williams behind the plate has been consistent with that call in that outer half to lefties, inner half to righties. Here's a 3-0. This misses outside too. A 4-pitch walk there from Kennedy. Or to Kennedy from Gould. Back-to-back plate appearances with a walk, and she's reaching all 3 now. And Tiana Bell will stand in with runners at first and second and 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Arkansas threatening again. First pitch to her, all speed, catches the outer half for strike 1. So the Razorbacks had a runner aboard every inning, have not had a runner in scoring position every inning. Only inning they didn't have it was in the 3rd. That was last inning. Hard grounder over to 3rd, and Barbary snares it. Steps on the bag at third base for out number 3. So the Bulldogs able to get out of a late inning jam again Razorbacks had runners at first and second, but they leave them stranded. It's no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on for the Razorbacks. And that's 3 straight scoreless innings from Peja Gould, and so trying to provide a spark to this Mississippi State offense. And Coach Ricketts talking to her team here right outside the dugout, and so hopefully Mississippi State can get some offense going as we move to the bottom of the 4th. And Mississippi State trails Arkansas 3-1 here in a series-deciding Game 3. State's offense so far as a team 2 for 11. 182. They have not walked. They have not been hit by a pitch. And so Robin Herron has been as advertised. But it looks like Arkansas is going to go with a new arm. So they make the switch. Herron was rolling there, but they want to go to a different arm and change up the look for Mississippi State's offense. And so they move to Sailor Timmerman, who pitched in Game 1 against Mississippi State, went an inning and 2/3, gave up no hits, no runs, and didn't walk any batters and struck out 2, and she faced 5 batters in those 1 2/3 innings. So coming into this series, though, was really solid. A freshman righty out of Minocqua, Wisconsin. Coming into this series, 2.29 ERA. And now that ERA at 2.22, so all 2s there. This will be her 18th appearance. 53 2/3 innings pitched, now 46 hits, given up 26 runs, 17 of them earned, 29 walks and 39 strikeouts. So didn't walk any batters on Friday, but coming into it, she's the most walk-friendly pitcher really on this staff that have mainly pitched in conference play. But even with that, has only given up multiple earned runs once in SEC play, and that was against Alabama on March 14th. And so has been able to work past the walks, and will try and work against Mississippi State here. Nani Barbary stands in. First pitch to her, misses for ball 1. Barbary, the solo homer in the first, responsible for the lone run of the ball game for Mississippi State. 1-0 misses, now to count 2-0. Arkansas does have another arm loosening in the bullpen down the right field line as well. If Timmerman runs into trouble, this one misses high, count 3-0. So like I said, you generally see some walks from Timmerman. 29 walks, 39 strikeouts, and so maybe you can see one to lead off the inning here. This one right in there for strike 1. The count now 3 balls and 1 strike on Barbary. (3-1) to her. And just misses for ball 4. Thought that one might have caught the inner half, but does not. And so Barbary draws a walk, in Mississippi State with a leadoff runner aboard here. It's the first time they've gotten a leadoff runner aboard in the ball game. And so now Paige Ernstis going to stand in for Mississippi State. Need to have a productive at-bat here. 0-0 to her. This is high, ball 1. I don't think you'll see Barbary make any moves over there at first base. And time called as catcher and Miller are going to go out and talk with Timmerman in the circle. Look at the field alignment. It's still the same for Arkansas. The battery, or rather, Timmerman the only change. So the battery is Timmerman in the circle, Miller behind the plate. You got McDowell still at third. Everything else is the same. McDowell at third, Rio at shortstop. Davison at second, Bell at first base, and Kennedy out in left, Johnson out in center, and Wyckoff in right. 1-0 to Ernstis. This is high, ball 2. So now 2 arms loosening in the bullpen for Arkansas. I can tell you they're both righties. I can't see the numbers down there. So if I can see the numbers, at one point I'll let you know. This one softly hit, does not get over the head of Davison. She ranges back and makes the play for out number 1. So you wanted, at least if you have an out there, a productive one, and not one there as Barbary stays put at first base, and now Anna Carter going to stand in. So I saw one number down there was number 12. That was Peyton Burnham that's in the bullpen for Arkansas, who pitched yesterday, had the complete game shutout. Hannah Carter going to stand in 0 for 1 today. And this one misses way high for ball 1. Now time called. Arkansas, going to talk things over. You also see the other number as well down there in the bullpen for the Razorbacks. So you've got Peyton Burnham in the bullpen and Reese Burline in the bullpen for Arkansas. Burline has not seen action in this series. She's a senior righty who's been with Arkansas for a couple of years. Started her career here in Starkville at Mississippi State in 2023. Has a 2.21 ERA this year in 4 appearances. So she's in the bullpen along with Peyton Burnham, who, like I mentioned, had that complete game shutout yesterday. But Sailor Timmerman trying to work out of that, or out of this jam here, and get Arkansas back swinging in the 5th. 1-0 count to Carter with a runner at first and 1 out, and this one misses outside. Count now 2-0. You got Bernardini waiting on deck. Carter, like I said, in SEC play has been solid coming into this ballgame. 273 batting average. That one misses out of count 3-0. And you might be like, Ty, 273 is not the greatest average. Well, for Mississippi State, that's one of the top ones. It's the 4th best average in SEC play on this ball club. It's collected 6 hits so far. 3-0, misses inside. There's ball 4. And so runners at first and second with 1 out. Again, we'll see if Arkansas makes a move. I have to think they don't want to play around here. State going to make a move right now. Not at the plate. They're going to bring in a pinch runner for Anna Carter. See who that's going to be. Rather, they'll bring a pinch runner in for Greta Grassel. See if they go for one at Carter at first base, too, and they do. So Barbary comes out, Grassel to first, and Carter comes out, and Grassel to second, and Silva to first base. So Barbary and Carter to the dugout. Grassel to second base, replacing Barbary. And Tatum Silva running at first base for Anna Carter. And so Morgan Bernardini stands in with a chance here to drive in some runs for Mississippi State. Runners at first and second. 1 out in the inning. This one misses high and away for ball 1. So 2 walks for Timmerman here in this inning. Her walk total now over 30 at 31. The 1-0 misses low and inside for ball 2. And so if Timmerman were to lose this one here, man, you'd really have to think a call to the pen would be made for Arkansas. Timmerman has seemed to lose control and not really have been able to find any control here in this inning. Here's a 2-0. This one right there, Bernardini not offering, and so count now 2-1, still in favor of the Bulldogs left fielder. She is 1 for 1 today, has one of the 2 hits in the ballgame for State, and a double back in the second. So trying to continue that success here. The 2-1 just misses outside. Bernardini, a solid take there. Held the bat back, and the count now 3-1. Again, Burline and Burnham in the bullpen for Arkansas. It's Timmerman out there right now. She's walked 2, and here's the 3-1 count to Bernardini. Right up the middle and through. Here comes Grassel around third base. Throw in the home. Not in time. Grassel scores. And Mississippi State has cut the deficit to 1, 3-2. Bernardini with her second hit of the ball game and her second RBI in conference play. Then Mississippi State now only trails 3-2 to the Razorbacks. Silva at second base did not move to third. Of course, Bernardini at first. A couple of Arkansas coaches come out of the dugout. You're probably going to see a move to the bullpen from Arkansas as Timmerman came in and could not get the job done. And instead, Arkansas does not go to the bullpen. They just go right back to Robin Herron. And so she's going to just re-enter. But the key thing for State is that they've seen her. And so maybe this bottom third of the order can sort some things out. 7, 8, 9 due up. You got Rivera, Keller, and Schaefer. One out in the inning still, but we're in the lower third, and the lower third of the order 0 for 3 against her. But they have seen her at least once, so maybe that will work out in State's favor. So, again, Bulldogs are going to have runners at first and second, one out, and I think State's going to go with a pinch hitter as well, and in this plate appearance too. So I don't think it's going to be Des Rivera. I believe it's going to be Taylor Troutman. And so her teammate's kind of talking her up here as Robin Heron loosens again as she re-enters, started the ball game. Worked 3 innings to start the game, gave up 2 hits and only the 1 earned run on the solo homer from Barbary. And so she'll come back in as Sailor Timmerman exits, could not put up a 0 on the board for Arkansas, and walked a couple of batters and gave up a hit that scored a run. So it'll be Taylor Troutman for Mississippi State. Her first AB of the series. For Troutman in SEC play, she's come up big in key moments, has got 6 RBIs in conference play this season. Here's the first pitch to her. Big swing and a miss for strike 1. So Silva at second base. State has also pinch run Kalani Sells at first for Morgan Bernardini. Score is 3-2 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 0-1 to Troutman. Right down the middle for strike 2. Heron trying to come in and close the door. Still 1 out in the inning, so got to get 2. But early ahead in the count here on the Bulldogs pinch hitter and Troutman. Here's the 0-2. Swing, and this one driven into right center field. It will get down. Silva rounding third. Bratton going to hold up Sells at third base, and Silva scores. Taylor Troutman off the bench, able to make a key RBI double into right center field. A key hit for MSU, and the Bulldogs have tied game 3 at 3 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Talked about it. Taylor Troutman has come big in clutch moments for Mississippi State all SEC play and all season long. 6 RBIs coming in now. That's her 7th. As Let's Go State's chant spur here in Starkville, Bulldogs have tied the ball game. Her 7th RBI, Troutman, in SEC play, and it ties things up in a series deciding game 3. Here's Kinley Keller. First pitch to her misses high for ball 1. So that not an earned run going to Heron. That goes to Timmerman, who came in relief to start this inning. Runners at second and third for State. Here's the 1-0. Fouled back. Count evens at 1-1. So the freshman gets an opportunity here. 0 for 1, lined out in the second on a sharply hit ball to shortstop. But gets an opportunity here with 2 runners in scoring position. The 1-1. Misses outside, ball 2. And for State this inning, it's been walk, pop out, walk, single, double. Those back-to-back hits have scored 2 apiece, or scored 1 apiece to collectively make 2 and tie the game for State. The 2-1 to Keller. Swung on down the line and foul towards third base. So State now 2 for 4 in the ball game with runners in scoring position. 2 for 5 with runners on base. Solid averages there. Keller this year 368 with runners in scoring position. 2 RBIs in conference play. The 2-2 to her. Misses high, ball 3. Count runs full. Mentioned you had for Arkansas Berline and Burnham working in the pen. Don't know if they make a move. Obviously not right now, but maybe waiting for how this at-bat fares. Here's the 3-2. This one caught on a line by the third baseman McDowell, and they say she's out at third base, and Sells she couldn't get back in time as McDowell tags the bag and a double play made all by herself. State might review this, and I think they will. But, man, what a play by McDowell. An individual effort right there, and to get Arkansas out of the jam for the time being. Obviously, they're going to take a look at this, and that's a tough spot to be in for Kalani Sells over at third base. Obviously, with the line drive over there, you think that one's going to get past the diving glove of McDowell. And they're showing the replay on the video board. Oh, and it is bang, bang. I mean, the definition of a bang, bang play, my goodness gracious. I don't know how you could overturn this one. The hand's in there right when the glove is in there from McDowell. Again, regardless of the call, if the call stands or even if it's overturned, just an amazing individual effort there, at least to be able to catch the ball on a line. And so we have the call. It's just bang, bang. Let's see if it goes in State's favor. And the call stands on the field. A great play from McDowell. She's able to make the grab and tag the bag for 2. And the fourth inning ends like that. But Mississippi State able to tie the ball game up. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors. They leave 1 on base after the inning-ending double play made by McDowell at third. Able to dive and make the grab and touch the bag for 2. And, man, what a big play by her to get Arkansas out of the jam. Our score, though, tied at 3. State adds 2 in the inning to tie this series deciding Game 3. Peja Gould back out in the circle looking to continue to work some scoreless innings. She's worked 3 straight scoreless innings. Back in just a moment for more Bulldog softball. 3-3 our score here as we head to the top of the 5th. This is Mississippi State softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
Trey Willis, shortstop.
Marshall Jones, first baseman.
Alex Philbin, center fielder. Hi, I'm Tim from C Spire. Am I in the right place?
It always pays to have the right players on your team. That's why C Spire gives you fiber-fast home internet, nationwide 5G wireless, and best-in-class business solutions, all backed by local 24/7 support. C Spire, customer inspired.
Hi, I'm Jake Mangum. Life is about making the most of your at-bats. So if you struck out looking for auto insurance, give Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance a shot. Farm Bureau Insurance is offering huge discounts on their auto rates. In fact, over the last 12 months, Farm Bureau Insurance has taken 3 rate reductions. Talk about coming through in the clutch. So if you were with us before, you're new to Farm Bureau, it's time to come home. Visit msfbins.com to find great new rates on auto insurance. And go with the home team.
We head to the 5th here in Starkville. We are all tied up in a series-deciding Game 3 at News Park between Mississippi State and Arkansas. The Bulldogs able to add 2 in their half of the 4th inning, and they have tied this thing up. Arkansas took the 3-0 lead to start. State has scored the last 3 runs in the ball game. Peja Gould back out to work in the circle. She'll face off against 6, 7, and 8 in Rio, Wyckoff, and Miller. And Rio stands in first pitch, swinging, and a grounder over towards second base, throw over in time, and Ernst just kept the foot on the bag. Just barely kept it on. That was a tough play for Schaefer over at second, fielding on her backhand, and the throw over was in time, but Ernst just had to reach for it and able to stay on the bag for out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 out. And now Kaylee Wyckoff will stand in, looking for her first hit of the ball game, 0 for 2. This one misses outside. The count now 1-0. Gould has given up 6 hits so far in 4 1/3 innings, 3 runs, all of them earned, all coming in the first inning. 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. So this one sent into center, hit pretty well. Sells back on it, back at the wall, it's gone. Solo home run for Kaylee Wyckoff. for her, her 6th of the year, and Arkansas has taken the lead right back from Mississippi State. What a response from this Arkansas ball club. The Razorbacks lead 4-3 in the top of the 5th. It could come from anywhere in this lineup, and they all hit above 300 for a reason. Peja gives up the home run to center field, her first run given up since the first inning. Had worked 3 straight scoreless innings. That streak ends. Kennedy Miller standing in now. First pitch to her, a ball in the bottom of the order. 7, 8, 9 had previously been 0 for 6 against her today, and that changes. Now 1 for 7, and that one hit is a big one that unties the ball game. 4-3 Razorbacks, swing and a miss. Strike one, Miller. Miller, part of that bottom of the order in the 8 spot, 0 for 2. Flew out in the first, struck out in the third. That wind pushing out to center field just kind of carried it on out of here. 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So back-to-back swings and misses. 1-2 on Miller. Trying to avoid back-to-back strikeouts and back-to-back plate appearances. Gould trying to work through the solo home run. This one misses low, ball 2, count even, 2-2. So Kalani Sells now out in center. State is shifted in the outfield. You got Silva and Les, Sells in center, and Keller in right now. This one misses low, count now full on Miller, 3-2. Everything you could want in a game 3. The State was in a close one last weekend, and Gainesville lost by 1. And down 1 here in the 5th. This one hard hit, but foul down the left field line. And Miller out in front of that one. Good contact to it just early. And so we'll try and adjust here with still 2 strikes in the count. The count is full at 3-2. Three-2 to Miller. Swung on, sent to left. Back. It's back-to-back home runs for the Razorbacks. Miller with a home run. And Arkansas with back-to-back solo shots. This one to left, and as Mississippi State adds 2 in the 4th, Arkansas adds 2 in the 5th to now lead 5-3. And it just doesn't get any easier for you if you're Mississippi State. Make the comeback, and there comes the Arkansas offense. So Miller with a home run there for her. Only her 2nd of the season. Now Carly Davison in the 9 spot will stand in. First pitch to her misses low for ball 1. So back-to-back home runs for Arkansas here in the 5th. They lead now 5-3 over Mississippi State in game 3. The 1-0. This one solidly hit the left, but it will get down just for a single. But another hit for the Razorbacks. Rio led off with a ground out the second, but since then it's been all 3 hits in a row. 2 home runs and now a single, and Coach Taryn Mullet-McKinney will come out, and also Coach Ricketts will come out as well, and I think the State's going to make a call to the bullpen. And so an unfortunate 5th inning for Mississippi State. It was like that yesterday. Obviously, Arkansas hadn't put up 8 here, but Arkansas was active in the 5th yesterday, and they're going at it here in the 5th today as well. 2 runs to make the lead grow back to 2. Arkansas has never trailed in this one, 5-3. The Bulldogs will make the switch to Alyssa Faircloth. So that'll be it for Peja Gould. A good start from her. At least the first inning, didn't go her way, but was able to battle through it and provide 3 straight innings of scoreless relief. In this 5th inning, Arkansas just got to her. And so Faircloth will come into the ball game, trying to shut down the Razorbacks offense. And so Alyssa Faircloth will come in. Started yesterday and was given the loss. Went 4 1/3 innings yesterday for State. 3 hits, giving up 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Faced 18 batters, threw 87 pitches yesterday. And for Faircloth, all those runs that she gave up in hits came in the 5th inning. And so we're in the 5th here, and Arkansas's added 2. Faircloth trying to prevent the Razorbacks from adding any more. So they're in a good spot in the order, too. The lineup has flipped over to Reagan Johnson. And then you got Brinley Bain on deck as well. Would love a tailor-made double play here to get you out of the inning. Let's try and get ground ball outs here. State needs 2. Try and get back to the plate in the bottom of this inning. Faircloth done warming up. ERA now sits at 1.93 after the 4 earned runs yesterday. Leads the team in strikeouts in the conference in strikeouts, 181. First pitch, a strike. Throwback to first, not in time to Johnson. And the throwback to first to Ernstis, trying to cut down Davison. Rivera's throw not in time. And so still a runner at first with 1 out. 0-1 count on Johnson. 1 for 3 today, a single way back in the 1st inning. Showing bunt here and fouls this one. And a diving attempt from Barbary. Can't make the grab in foul territory. And count now 0-2. That one tough and just past the outstretched arms of Barbary. But now a 2-strike count. You'll see Johnson swing away here and try and slap one over the left side. That left side of the infield got to be ready. This one just misses the zone off the outer half. The count now 1-2. Wind blowing out to center. 1-2 to Johnson. This one pulled and foul towards the Arkansas dugout. So for the Razorbacks, this inning, 2 runs on 3 hits. Ground to start out the inning, ground out, and then home run, single. And now State's made the change, and it's Johnson in the top of the order that she goes up against. The 1-2. A foul ball softly hit and back to the backstop in foul territory for to keep the count where it is at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Johnson battling here in this at-bat, looking for her first hit since the 1st inning. 1-2. Slapped over to third, up with his Barbary. She makes the throw over to second to cut down the lead runner. Davison retired at second base, 5-4 fielder's choice, and 2 outs in the inning. Johnson safe over there at first base. There was no throw over there, as the bobble prevented any chance of a double play, and Johnson can move down the line as well. Got a lot of speed, especially at advantage in the left-handed batter's box. So 2 outs in the inning, runner at first. Brinley Bain will stand in. First pitch to her misses inside for ball 1. Bain, 2 for 3, has singled in her last 2 plate appearances. A single last inning and a single in the second. (1-0) just misses. No, catches the lower half for strike 1. So 1-1. Johnson over there at first. A lot of stolen bases this season. 16. So this one in the left, ranging in on it is Silva, able to make the grab for out number 3. So Faircloth comes in relief and gets the job done, gets State out of the inning. But Arkansas, with back-to-back home runs from Wyckoff and Miller, propel them to the lead. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, 1 left on base for the Razorbacks as we head to the bottom half of the 5th here in the 5th inning stretch at Noose Park. And so State going to have to respond again like they did in the first part of this game and in the 4th inning. Again, just doesn't get any easier for you for Mississippi State, and so they'll have to try and respond here as we move to the bottom half of the 5th inning. 5-3 the score. For State, due up at Schaefer, Sells, and Styles. We'll see if they stay with Schaefer. It does look like they will do that. And Arkansas are going to stay with Robin Heron. So had Timmerman come in relief and walk a couple of batters, and also gave up a double from, a single from Mississippi State's Bernardini, and so she came in, struggled to do it, but Heron able to get him out of the inning. It was that big play from McDowell over to third to help them get out of the inning, too. Made a diving play to grab a line drive and then tagged the bag at third base to double off Kalani Sells. And so that got Arkansas out of the jam and gave them some momentum going into this 5th inning, and they went back-to-back with home runs in the top half. For State, this is their second-to-last home SEC series this season. Only a couple more left. They only have 3 more series left. You've got A&M in College Station next weekend, Friday through Sunday. And then for Super Bulldog weekend, the last series, it'll be the Fighting Tigers of LSU coming to town on a Friday through Sunday series. And then the last series of the year, the Bulldogs will travel to Oxford to take on Ole Miss, a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. 3 left for State. They're trying to grab their second series win of the season here. They got a battle back again, down 5-3 as Gabby Schaefer leads off the bottom of the 5th. Showing bunt, trying to lay it down, but fouls it back to the netting for strike 1. So see if she stays with that approach here. Schaefer popped out back in the 3rd inning. Lineup waiting to be flipped over at Sells on deck. The all-speed in there, a called strike 2. And so Schaefer quickly down to the count 0-2. Looking for her first hit of the series. 0-2 to her. Swung on, sent in the center, ranging over Johnson to her left. Makes the grab for out number 1. So the Bulldogs lead off. Hitter retired. This lineup will flip over. It's the leadoff hitter, and Kiara Sells is standing in for Mississippi State. Sells has struck out twice in this ball game, both times to Robin Heron. Now, for the series, has struck out 3 times, all to Robin Heron. And so has had trouble seeing her. I'll try and adjust here, but timing off there on the breaking ball, and there's strike 1 on a swing and a miss. (0-1) misses off the outer edge for ball 1 for State. At 4 hits in the ball game. 2 of those coming last half inning in the 4th. You had 1 in the 2nd, and the 1 in the 1st was a solo homer from Barbary. Check swing from Sells. They appeal to first. She did not go around, says first base umpire Ronald White. And so a count runs now in favor of Sells, 2-1. Here's the pitch. Misses low, ball 3. It's 3-1 on Sells. Styles in the on-deck circle. Sells looking to reach for the first time today. And she does, and extends that on or reached base streak. It was at 12 coming into this ball game. Rather, it was at 13, I'm pretty sure. Make sure I'm right on that real quick. Yeah, it was at 13, so now at 14. So a 14-game reach base streak now for Kiara Sells, one aboard for the Bulldogs in the home half of the 5th, and now Arkansas will come out and maybe make a change in the circle. And I would have to think it would, if they did make a change, it would probably be Peyton Burnham, who had that complete game shutout yesterday, and that's exactly who it's going to be. So that'll be it for Robin Herron. Peyton Burnham going to come out and pitch for Arkansas here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Like I said, yesterday had that complete game shutout in 5 innings, gave up only 1 hit. No runs, like I said, with the shutout. Only 1 walk as well. Only 1 strikeout, but Arkansas's defense played well yesterday, like they have all series. Faced 16 batters and threw 67 total pitches, so was really efficient in her work yesterday in 5 innings. And so she'll come in and pitch. Sophomore, righty out of Eugene, Oregon. ERA now at 2.12. This is now her 17th appearance. She's got a 9-3 record now in the year after the win yesterday. 59 and a third innings pitched, 49 hits given up, 18 runs, all of them earned, 16 walks, 37 strikeouts. And so State looked to have some success against her yesterday, something they couldn't do. Yeah, something they couldn't do yesterday. Will look to have some success today. And a good part of the order to do it. Obviously, Stiles looking for her first hit of the ball game. Only hit for State yesterday came from the bottom of the order, and Gabby Schaefer. So I misspoke earlier, said she did have a hit this series. She did have one. That was yesterday, but only hit for State yesterday against Burnham came in that bottom half of the order. So, again, the top half struggled yesterday, and Stiles has struggled today. She's 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts to right. And so trying to right all those wrongs here. And maybe draw State back even, or maybe even take the lead. 0-0 to Stiles. Misses high. Ball 1. They had Reese Burline, too, loosening in the bullpen as well. So if Burnham were to run into trouble, you could also see Burline come into this game as well. 1-0. Fouled high and out of play for strike 1. This one grounded hard over to third. 5, 4, and 3. Arkansas with an ending twin killing. And big momentum for the Razorbacks in the top half of the inning with the back-to-back home runs, and then a double play to end the bottom of the 5th inning for State. No runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. And the Bulldogs left scoreless in the bottom half of the 5th. Have 6 outs to work with at the plate, but got to hold Arkansas and keep the deficit where it is. 5-3 as we head to the top half of the 6th inning. It will be for Arkansas, McDowell, Kennedy, and Bell facing off against Alyssa Faircloth. 5-3 Arkansas leads in a series deciding Game 3 here at News Park as we head to the top half of the 6th inning. Back in just a moment for more Bulldog softball here on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
Welcome back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. I'm Ty Goldman alongside you here in Starkville at News Park. We've gotten through 5 here in Game 3, a series-deciding Game 3. And Arkansas claims a 5-3 lead over Mississippi State. As we head to the 6th inning, Bulldogs trying to keep Arkansas off the boards and get the sticks back working in the bottom half of this inning. Ella McDowell going to lead off, and the first pitch to her misses high for ball 1. McDowell in the ball game, 1 for 2. Has reached in every plate appearance. Has reached in her most recent one in the 4th on a fielder's choice. She skies this one down the left side. State player's giving some run after it, but won't make the grab as that one goes out of play for strike 1. That was Silva and Stiles running after it, but obviously can't go get that one out of play there. And so the count now even 1-1. But she reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th, walk in the 2nd, and had a single in the 1st, which drove in a run. Two and 1 now as the 1-1 missed. Wind whipping out to left field. Fairclaw's pitch misses off speed, just misses there, and the count now a hitter's count. 3-1. Here's a 3-1. Off speed misses. There's ball 4. And so maybe a questionable ball 3 call right there, but there's ball 4. And so a leadoff walk for Ella McDowell, a leadoff runner aboard for the Razorbacks. As now Dakota Kennedy going to stand in. And Kennedy has reached in every plate appearance today as well. Single in the 1st and back-to-back walks and back-to-back plate appearances. She skies this one in the left. And miscommunication out in left center field. Kalani Sales diving for it and missed it. Runner in the 3rd safely and runner at 2nd as well. And Kennedy throws the hands up like you just take it any way you can get it right there. That's just, you can't have that kind of miscommunication at this point in the ball game. And both Silva and Sells just not really talking out there, and it just drops in front of them. Went off the glove of Sells. And that'll be a double as it did go off the glove off of a outer kind of effort right there. And so it will be a double. Kennedy now 2 for 2, but just poor miscommunication in left. Now Tiana Bell stands in, and just off of that one, fouls it back to the netting for strike 1. So tough situation here for Alyssa Faircloth. Should have had out number 1 right there. And wind blowing out to left field too, so can kind of play a little bit with the ball in the air, but still you got to make that play. This one misses now 1-1. Infield playing in for Mississippi State. Bell 1 for 3 today is in back-to-back plate appearances, grounded into 2 fielder's choices over to 3rd and had a single and an RBI in the 1st. This one misses low. Now the count 2-1. Obviously got to be careful here with Bell. Second most home runs on this ball club with 12. Now obviously a base open at first base, so maybe State trying to go to a situation where bases are loaded, but a competitive pitch there and a swing and a miss from Bell. And the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Faircloth trying to work around a couple of runners aboard here to start the inning. Here's a 2-2. Misses outside. Rivera lunged to grab that one. Luckily she did, or McDowell could have scored from 3rd base. Count full, 3-2. McDowell at 3rd, Kennedy at 2nd. 5-3 ball game. Arkansas on top in the top of the 6th inning. Nobody out. The 3-2 to Bell. In the dirt, gets away from Rivera. And the run will score. McDowell in safely, 6-3 Arkansas. And so Rivera, frustrated with herself there. Got that one in the dirt from Faircloth. I'm sure Faircloth's frustrated too. And so score now 6-3. Natalia Rio will stand in. Runners at the corners for the Razorbacks with nobody out. At the top of the 6th. Time called. Arkansas looking like they're going to make a change. See if they make a change at the plate or on base. I think they're going to make a change on base for Bell at first base. And they will. They're going to go to, let me take a look at the roster here. They're going to go to Casey Wood. Look like number 13 out there. So Casey Wood going to go run. Junior out of Bentonville, Arkansas. Played only 4 games this season, but getting an opportunity. This will be her first conference game played. Getting an opportunity to run here. Natalia Rio standing in 0 for 1 today. Has reached on a walk and a hit by pitch. Runners at the corners. Runner going. Throw down to second, not in time. And the runner and Kennedy at third base not going home. And so a steal of a bag at second base for Wood. And so there's 2 runners in scoring position now. The pitch was a strike, and now this one fouled back at a count now 0-2 on Rio. Infield again playing in for Mississippi State. Got to find some outs and find them in a hurry here. 0-2 count on Rio. Here's a pitch from Faircloth. Misses low for ball 1. I think it was there on the outer third of the plate, but just missed low. One and 2. That one a called strike 3. Punch out for Faircloth. Our first strikeout here in relief for MSU. 1 gone here in the Razorbacks' 6th. And so now Arkansas will have Kaylee Wyckoff up. First pitch to her misses for ball 1. Wyckoff with that home run in the 5th, last half inning. It's part of a inning where Arkansas had 2 straight, had back-to-back home runs there. And so the count now 1-0 on her. Here's the pitch. Driven out to right. Could be deep enough to score the run. Catch is made. Here's the throw to home from Keller. And it gets through the wickets of Rivera. And the run scores from third, and Kennedy. Score now 7-3 Arkansas, and also tagging is Wood to third base. A little small collision there at the plate on the slide, and that throw was kind of on target right there. Came in on a hop and just kind of went off the glove of Rivera there. Couldn't handle it. So now 2 outs in the inning. Arkansas adds another. Back-to-back innings with 2 runs scored, looking to add some more. 7-3 Razorbacks. Kennedy Miller going to stand in with 2 outs in the inning and a runner 60 feet away at third. This one misses low for ball 1. So State will have 3, 4, and 5 due up. Heart of the order, Barbary, Ernstis, and Silva. State has some work to do with 3 outs to work with late in this ball game. 1-0, and Miller goes around. Couldn't quite hold the bat back, on a check swing, and count now 1-1. One to her, misses. It's ball 2, 2-1. And Miller had that home run, like mentioned, in the 5th. After Wyckoff's to go back-to-back. So that Home run was only her second of the year, and she's 1 for 3 today. Here's a 2-1. Driven into center, given a pretty good ride. Sails back near the wall, makes the grab as she slams into the wall after making the grab. She's all right for out number 3. But Arkansas able to add 2 runs there. A couple of mistakes from Mississippi State in the outfield and behind the plate. And Arkansas adds 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base as we move to the bottom half of the 6th inning here in Starkville. Mississippi State trailing Arkansas 7-3 here in a deciding Game 3. Bulldogs will have Barbary, Ernstis, and Silva due up when we get back. And it looks like Burnham's going to come back out and pitch for the Razorbacks. Hogs lead 7-3 over the Dogs as we move to the bottom of the 6th. Back in just a moment. This is Mississippi State softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network in Learfield.
Everything is just a little easier when you feel at home. At Cadence Bank, we're proud to be part of your home team, and we never stop working to give you a competitive advantage. Stop by a branch or visit us online at cadencebank.com to learn more about how we're helping opportunity take shape for our community.
There's a hit out to left field. This one is gone.
Cadence Bank, a proud sponsor of Mississippi State Athletics. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
Hey fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fan section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Arkansas has added 2 runs in back-to-back innings to take a 7-3 lead into this home half of the 6th. The Bulldogs trying to respond here. They got to respond in a hurry. It's Nadia Barbary due up for Mississippi State, facing off against Peyton Burnham for the first time today. The first pitch from Burnham in the dirt for ball 1. Barbary has reached in both plate appearances today. Solo homer in the first. They got the scoring started for Mississippi State in the ball game, and then a walk back in the 4th. This one right down the middle for strike 1. The count evens up at 1-1. Burnham has thrown 2/3 of an inning. Hadn't given up a hit or a run yet. Hadn't walked a batter. It's been solid. And Barbary sends this one to left, tailing away from Kennedy, but got a good jump on it, and she's able to make the grab for out number 1. That one solidly hit towards left, but again, just a good jump from Kennedy out there, who's played a good left field all series long, and so State will 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th, and Paige Ernstis will stand in. First pitch to Ernstis misses low for ball 1. Ernstis 0 for 2 today, searching for her first hit of the ball game and her first hit of the series. This one right down the middle for strike 1. Ernstis collectively now 0 for 6 throughout these 3 games, but did reach once this series with a walk that came on Friday in game 1. 1-1 was a strike, so now she's down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Misses low and outside. Count evens, 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Anna Carter waiting in the on-deck circle for Mississippi State as they decide to go with her instead of Tatum Silva. Here's the 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Burnham with her first strikeout of the ball game in her relief. Struck out 1 yesterday, so matches that here. 2 out in the inning for Mississippi State as Bulldogs will have Anna Carter at the dish. So for Mississippi State, A couple retired in a row now. 3 retired in a row for, 3 retired in a row now for State. That double play to end the inning in the 5th. And then a fly out and a strikeout here in the 6th. Anna Carter standing in. This one misses outside to her for ball 1. Carter 0 for 1 today. Fouls this one high and out of play towards the left side. So looking to some 2-out magic here for Mississippi State as they trail 7-3 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Carter 0 for 1, as I mentioned. Most recent plate appearance, she drew a walk. This one misses low, ball 2. 2-1 now to count. State with Bernardini on deck if they can get to her. 2-1, out to left. In play, Kennedy makes the grab for out number 3. State goes 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 6th inning. They'll have 3 outs to work with in the bottom of the 7th, and hopefully they can keep the deficit where it is here in the top of the 7th as we move that way. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base for Mississippi State, and they trail 7-3 as we head to the top of the 7th here in Game 3 between Arkansas and Mississippi State. Let's take a look at some more of the scores around the Southeastern Conference. Now 2 games going on along with Mississippi State's. You got after 6 and going to the top of the 7th inning, Arizona on top of LSU right now. So Arizona trying to salvage a game in that series against the Fighting Tigers in Baton Rouge, and then Carolina also trying to salvage a game in Columbia against Florida. They're both squads tied at 1 in the top half of the 4th inning. So those are the 2 going on right now along with Mississippi State's. And you've got later today a bunch of first pitches, in fact 4 at 1 p.m. Central Time. Missouri and Georgia at 1. That's a rubber match between those 2 after Missouri took game 2 yesterday. A&M and Ole Miss at 1 in Oxford. Ole Miss trying to salvage a game. Oklahoma and Texas at 1. As Texas tries to salvage a game at home there. Oklahoma's taking the first 2. And Alabama and Auburn at 1 as well. Auburn trying to salvage a game as Bama's already clinched the series with winning games 1 and 2. And then later tonight on the SEC Network, from Lexington, Tennessee will take on Kentucky in Game 2. Volunteers, Lady Vols won last night in Game 1, so looking to win the series over Kentucky. Kentucky struggled in SEC play, 1-15 now, and really at the lower part of the standings in SEC play. Carly Davison going to lead off the inning. State stays with Alyssa Faircloth and showing bunt here. Pushes it to first, and the tag not made. They call safe at first base. It was a delayed call. I don't know if first base umpire, I guess, really knew at first. That it just waited there to make the call. So Ronald White said safe, and Davison with a bunt single to start the 7th inning here. Now lineup flips over. It'll be Reagan Johnson due up for the Razorbacks, and a swing and a miss, strike 1 for her. So Davison, 2 singles now. This one a bunt single. She's 2 for 4. And Johnson today 1 for 4. And now down to the count 0-1, and slices this one foul. And now down to the count 0-2. You've got Davison at first with 2 stolen bags on the year. Has been caught once. Scored 21 runs this year for the Razorback. State trying to keep this game where it is and keep it as close as possible into the 7th inning. Faircloth has had this one slip out of the hand and just grounds it a couple of feet in front of the rubber. A wild pitch, and Davison able to make it to second base. Just kind of spiked that one right there. Count now 1-2. This one in the dirt. Rivera does block it up, and Davison not moving. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes after Faircloth started with 2 strikes. I think Rivera, I thought maybe she was going to go talk, and instead was just looking for something out there. Home plate umpire helps her grab whatever she was looking for, and so the count now 2-2. Runner at second in Davison. Johnson at the dish. Here's the pitch. Slice down the left side. Running forward is Sells and cannot make the grab. In left field now is Kalani Sells. For defensively for State, you've got the battery, Faircloth in the circle, Rivera behind the plate. You got Barber at third, Styles at short, Schaefer at second base, Abby Grace Richardson in at first, Kalani Sells in left, Kinley Keller in center, and Kiara Sells in right. The 2-2 to Johnson. Misses inside and pops away from Rivera, and down the third goes Davison. Count runs full now on Johnson, who has worked in this at bat. Looking to get on base the second time in this ball game, the first time since the first inning. The 3-2 misses inside, ball 4. And so a leadoff bunt single and then a walk as runners at the corners for Arkansas with nobody out. Now Peyton Burnham will grab a bat and hit for Arkansas. For her this year, too, they're leaving her in. This is her first at bat of the season, trying to lay down a bunt, throw down the second, not in time as a runner stealing in Johnson. And for Johnson, her 17th stolen bag of the season. Coming in, had 16. That was third most in the conference. Swinging away here is Burnham and slices this one foul over to first. And so this is her first at-bat of the year. Looking at it, this is her third at-bat of the season, but only her 11th career AB, and swings and misses for strike 3 there. So they're doing that to leave her in the ball game. And so a strikeout there, 1 out in the inning. For Faircloth, her second in relief, and Ella McDowell now will stand in. First pitch to McDowell misses low for ball 1. She is 1 for 2 today, has reached twice on a walk and reached once in the first on a single. (1-0) just misses, and the count now 2-0. 11 hits in the ball game for Arkansas. They have left 10 on base, but have scored 7. (2-0) misses low. Ball 3. 3-0 count. Dakota Kennedy on deck for the Razorbacks. Trouble brewing here for Mississippi State again, this time in the 7th inning. Razorbacks will score 2 in back-to-back innings in the 5th and the 6th. This one misses for ball 4. And so the bases now are loaded for Arkansas. And again, State trying to keep the lead where it is for the Razorbacks and give themselves the best opportunity. In the bottom of the 7th inning. Going to be hard to ask for an out here against Dakota Kennedy. She has reached in every plate appearance today, 2 for 2, 2 walks in the middle of her 4 plate appearances in the 2nd and 4th, and a single and a double. This one up the middle, off the glove of Faircloth into center. 1 run will score. Throw to home, not in time. 2 runs score. Razorbacks have added 2 runs each in the past 3 innings, and Arkansas leads here in Game 3, 9-3 over Mississippi State. So it's just that late offense from Arkansas that has come on and given Mississippi State a bunch of problems. Bulldogs hadn't responded to the runs in the 5th and the 6th. They're going to be in a hole in the bottom of the 7th and still trying to get out of this one. Swing and a miss from Bell for strike 1. Runners at first and second now. Kennedy at first, McDowell at second. For Kennedy now 3 for 3 today and has reached in all 5 plate appearances. Swing and a miss, strike 2 to Bell. He's had a solid day for well 1 as well, 1 for 3. Walked in her last plate appearance last half inning. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a ball driven in the center. That'll get down. 1 run going to come in to score. The Razorbacks have put up double digits. They lead 10-3 in the top half of the 7th inning. Man, just been a late blitz from Arkansas. Well, kind of like it was yesterday in the 5th. And they have come alive. Now 13 hits in the ballgame. Here comes Coach Taryn Mowat-McKinney out to talk with Faircloth, and don't know who State's going to bring in here, and I think they're going to go with Delaney Everett, who came in yesterday. Arkansas faithful calling the Hogs over there in their section. Alyssa Faircloth out of the ball game, Delaney Everett in. And so State now down 10-3. They were down 3-0 to start the game, then scored 3 straight runs. They scored 1 in the first and then 2 in the 4th to tie the game in that 4th inning. And right now that feels like just so long ago. Arkansas in the 5th, 6th, and 7th have added 7 runs. 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th. This inning, 3 hits to add to that as well. Like I said, 13 hits. So over the course of the last 2 ball games, and you look at the latter half of the games in the 5th, 6th, and 7th innings, this series, Arkansas has had all of their runs. So 10 of their, or 18 runs they've scored in this series, all of their runs have come in the 5th inning or later. And hits-wise, 21 of their 23 hits have come in the 5th inning or later. So they have just been on fire in late innings. And State's had trouble getting out of these late innings and also responding offensively. So you feel like when you tie the game in the 4th, you feel like, hey, you may be out of the woods. You're never out of the woods in SEC play, and especially against an offense like this. Had that fast start in the 1st, and then they were slow in the middle innings, 2 through 4, and then come alive here 5 through 7. Natalia Rijo going to stand in, facing off against Delaney Everett. First pitch, a strike from Everett. Went 2/3 of an inning of work yesterday, gave up a hit, no runs, and walked the batter. Faced 4 Arkansas hitters. 0-1. Gets away from the catcher in Rivera, and runners at first and second will go to second and third. And so runners again in scoring position for the Razorbacks. They're 4 for 11 today with runners in scoring position, 364, 6 for 20 with runners on in general. 300. This one foul over down the left side. Count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rio at the dish is 0 for 2, but walked in her first 2 plate appearances, since grounded out and Cade looking in back-to-back innings in the 5th and the 6th. 1-2 to her. Catches the inner half, and there's a strikeout for Delaney Everett. That's her first strikeout of the season. So, got injured was injured to start the year. Not as many appearances this year for State. I think this is her 5th. And finds her first strikeout here against Arkansas in Game 3. 2 outs in the inning for Kaylee Wyckoff. First pitch to her, in there, called strike 1. Everett was the flamethrower for State last year along with Raylan Chafin. And Everett was phenomenal in Southeastern Conference play as well. Out of all pitchers, as this one missed, count now 1-1. But out of all pitchers in SEC play, in the entire SEC, in the entire conference last year, she had the least amount of walks registered as a starter. This one goes off the ankle of Wyckoff, and she's down on the ground, and she's all right, going to walk that one out to first base. And so Everett hits Wyckoff, and bases now juiced for Arkansas with 2 outs in the inning, and Kennedy Miller going to stand in for Arkansas, trying to extend their 7-run lead. I think they're going to, Arkansas going to make a change at first and try and give Wyckoff some relief, as well as, they've done that as well in the outfield too. She's been playing right. They brought in Kyler Del Duca a couple times. See who they bring in now. Trying to get a number. It looks like 10. They don't have a 10 on the roster. Folks, I can't see the number over there at first, so I'll give that to you as soon as I can. Still trying to figure it out, but bases are loaded for Kennedy Miller. 1-0 the count. It's Ramsey Walker at first base. Ramsey Walker, that's 1-6 over there. She came in a pinch run yesterday, sophomore out of Shreveport, Louisiana. 1-0 in there, called strike 1 to Miller. Miller 1 for 4 today. And then homer in the 2-run 5th for Arkansas. He's flown out 2 times and struck out once. Bases loaded for the Razorbacks with 2 outs. High chopper to third, and Barber able to grab it. Slips a little bit, but able to step on the bag at third base for out number 3. And so that will take us to the bottom of the 7th inning. Bulldogs have 3 outs to work with to try and win this series, but Arkansas just 3 outs away from a series win. Razorbacks add 3 in the 7th. 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors. They leave the bases loaded. But they have added, again, 2 runs in the 5th, 2 runs in the 6th, 3 runs in the 7th inning, and have taken a 10-3 lead in Game 3 into the bottom of the 7th. Bulldogs will have 6, 7, and 8 due up, and hopefully can tie this ball game up or maybe walk off Arkansas, but a lot of work to do. State trails 10-3 in Game 3 as we head to the bottom half of the 7th. Back in just a moment for the bottom of the 7th. This is Mississippi State softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C Spire. Customer inspired.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning here in Starkville. Mississippi State trailing Arkansas 10-3 in a series deciding Game 3 as we head into the bottom half of the 7th inning. State in a big hole, but trying to come back here. I've had a couple to come from behind wins this season, a lot in fact, and got to go to work here. Down 10-3, Morgan Bernardini going to lead off the bottom of the 7th for State. It's Peyton Burnham back out in the circle for Arkansas, and the first pitch to her misses for ball 1. Now stay tuned for our post-game show. So here's the 1-0. This one just misses as well. The count now 2-0. Bernardini, one of the only hitter with multiple hits in the ball game for Mississippi State, 2 for 2. But stay tuned for our post-game show after the ball game. Swing and a miss, strike 1 from Bernardini. I'll be on talking about the ball game and the series that we've had here this weekend. And Skylar Aldi going to go down and talk with your Bulldog head coach and Samantha Ricketts and get a post-game interview for us. So stay tuned for our post-game show here on the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. 2-1 catches the zone. Now to count 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. So State just 2 outs to work with now. Bulldogs going to go to a pinch hitter. It'll be Abigail Stevens.
Next to play for the Bulldogs is number 11, Abigail Stevens.
So Abigail Stevens will come in this season. A .300 batting average, 20 ABs on the year, 6 hits. She sends one high in the left, but foul. So a .300 batting average for her, the redshirt freshman out of Braxton, Mississippi. In conference play, has only appeared in 3 games and had an at-bat each of those games and has yet to find a hit. 0-1 to her right down the middle for strike 2. And so now 0-2 on Stevens, and check swing. They'll appeal to first. They say she did not go around, and so the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Stevens looking there, and the count runs to 2-2 as that one misses in the dirt. So again, Stevens with her 4th AB in conference play. Looking for her first hit, but swings and misses for strike 3. So now State down to their final out. And it's going to be Kinley Keller who will stand in. She sends one up the middle. Shortstop over with it. Makes the play for out number 3. Rio to Bell, 6-3. And that ends the ball game. Arkansas with a 10-3 win over Mississippi State. They take game 3 and win the series over the Bulldogs. With the win, Mississippi State falls to 34-11 and 6-9 in conference play. Arkansas 35-6 and 10-5 in conference play. Bulldogs drop the series and fall to Arkansas here in Game 3, 10-3. Skylar Aldi is going to go down and get a post-game interview, and I'll be back in just a moment to talk a little bit on the post-game show. So stay tuned with us here on the BSSN and on Learfield. Mississippi State loses in Game 3, 10-3 to Arkansas. Back in just a moment for our post-game show. This has been Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
There's team pride, and then there's extra Bulldog pride. When I'm carrying the Mississippi State University Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card, that's exactly what I get. Whether I'm grabbing some extra state gear or picking up an extra dozen wings for the game, this card always brings it. Sometimes I get an extra Hail State from the cashier too. Visit Regions.com/Go State to get yours.
Extra changes everything. And at Regions, Extra is our ordinary. Official bank of the SEC, member FDIC.
Hey fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fans section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C Spire. Customer inspired.
Everything is just a little easier when you feel at home. At Cadence Bank, we're proud to be part of your home team, and we never stop working to give you a competitive advantage. Stop by a branch or visit us online at cadencebank.com to learn more about how we're helping opportunity take shape for our community.
There's a hit out to left field. This one is gone.
Cadence Bank, a proud sponsor of Mississippi State Athletics. Equal Opportunity Lender, member FDIC.
I'm Jake Mangum. A great team knows how to gel and only gets better over time. Kind of like auto insurance for Farm Bureau Insurance. Over the last 12 months, auto rates have had 2 reductions. And after February 15th, 2026, members will see another reduction of 5%. If you aren't already on the team, there's no better time to join Farm Bureau. Visit msfbins.com to find great new rates on auto insurance, or contact your local agent to get more details on how you can save. Go with the home team, go with Farm Bureau.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you turn your backyard into your personal movie theater.
Start movie night.
Own your day on the network for connected living. There's more to see. C Spire. Customer inspired.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Student Sports Network and into our post-game show on Learfield as well. I'm Ty Goldman with you. We're waiting on a post-game interview from Skylar Aldi down there with our head coach in Samantha Ricketts, so we'll get that in just a moment. But Mississippi State falls 10-3 to Arkansas in Game 3, and they lose the series for the Bulldogs. A chance again in Game 3 like they've had all season, and just unable to take advantage of it, and they fall 10-3 to Arkansas. The winning pitcher in the ball game, Robin Herron, goes her record now to 12-3 on the season with the win. So she makes up for the loss that she had on Friday in that great performance, but gets the win today. 12-3. She went 4 flat innings pitched, 3 hits given up, 1 run. It was earned. That was on the solo home run from Nadia Barbary. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Faced 15 batters through 62 total pitches, and the ERA now down to 1.45 for her. As she gets the win, moves to 12-3. They also had Sailor Timmerman coming to the ball game, and she went a third of an inning, gave up most of the runs in the game for State. Gave up 2, in fact. 1 hit on 2 earned runs. 2 runs, both of them earned. 2 walks, no strikeouts, faced 4 batters, and then was brought back out. Herron came back in and then finished that inning. And then Burnham went the final 2 2/3 of the ball game and got a save, her 3rd of the season. Gave up no hits, no earned runs, no walks either. Was incredibly efficient like she was on Friday. 3 strikeouts, faced 7 batters, and threw only 26 total pitches as well. And our ERA now goes to 1.95 on the season. And, just, again, an efficient ball game for her. And so Mississippi State, those are the pitchers for Arkansas, pitchers of record, Herron with the win, moves to 12-3. Burnham with the save, her 3rd of the season. Pitcher of record for Mississippi State, Peja Gould with the loss. Today she falls to 14-7 on the year. Went 4 1/3 innings pitched, gave up 9 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, faced 27 batters, and threw 100 100 even pitches, and so a 1.80 ERA for her now after the ball game. Had Faircloth come in and went 2 full innings, 4 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned. 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, pretty similar stuff right there, except for the hits, and 14 batters faced. She threw 51 pitches. Her ERA now at 2.48. And Delaney Everett came in, got the final 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning, and it didn't allow a hit or a run, no walks either. Did hit a batter, but struck out 1 and got out of the inning after facing just 3 and threw 10 pitches. So good to see her come on and have some more success late in a ball game as well and get State out of a jam. So we get the interview coming in just a moment. Skylar Aldy just got back into the press box, and so I'll get that done for you guys, and then you'll hear that, and then hear me talk for a little bit more after that. Mississippi State loses 10-3 in Game 3. Back in just a moment with our post-game interview with head coach Samantha Ricketts. This is Mississippi State softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network in Learfield.
Trey Willis, shortstop.
Marshall Jones, first baseman.
Alex Philbin, center fielder. Hi, I'm Tim from C Spire. Am I in the right place?
It always pays to have the right players on your team. That's why C Spire gives you fiber-fast home internet, nationwide 5G wireless, and best-in-class business solutions, all backed by local 24/7 support. C Spire, customer inspired.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Jake Mangum here. When I'm at the plate, I'm always looking for an edge. So when I'm shopping for auto insurance, I'm always looking to save. That's why I'm going with Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance to keep me covered. They're always finding ways to save you money, like a 7% discount when you sign up for paperless billing and documents. Go to msfbins.com and discover how much you can save on auto insurance, or find a local agent and get started today. Go with the home team. Go with Farm Bureau Insurance.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C Spire. Customer inspired.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
Back at the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield in our post-game show. Mississippi State falls in Game 3 to Arkansas 10-3 as the Bulldogs drop the series to the Razorbacks. Arkansas with a win, and the series win moves to 35-6 overall and 10-5 in conference play. State falls to 34-11 and 6-9 in Southeastern Conference play. Skylar Aldy went down and got a post-game interview with our Bulldog head coach in Samantha Ricketts, and we'll get that for you right here. Here is Coach Samantha Ricketts with Skylar Aldy of the Bulldog Students Sports Network.
I'm here with Bulldogs head coach Samantha Ricketts. Coach Ricketts, I know we've had somewhat of a fight all season, and we saw some of that fight today and throughout the majority of the series. How do you plan on using that fight going forward and turning it into more wins?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one to swallow, and the goal is to kind of learn from each outing every week, and hopefully we can take something from this, because I don't think we've put together our best game yet, and we know we've got more than what we showed today. But big credit to Arkansas. They're a great team. They play really well on both sides of the ball, and they came out and attacked.
And what are your thoughts on today's defensive miscues that led and added on to Arkansas's lead?
I mean, it's just, you have to play clean in all three phases. And when we're not pitching well or getting the timely hit, we've got to also play defense. And, whether it's losing the ball in the sun or whatever it might be, it's just, they can't be excuses. There's stuff that we know is going to happen, and it's going to affect both teams. And so we just have higher expectations for ourselves than that.
And I know we saw Arkansas's team kind of come alive towards the end of the game with their multiple hits and runs. How do you plan on preparing for another possible situation like that in the future?
I mean, we prepare for every team the same, and we know that we're going to face great offenses and pitching staffs, and that we have to do what we know how to do best and not worry so much about what we can't control, which is what's coming out the other side of the dugout.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for your time, Coach Ricketts.
That was your Bulldog head coach in Samantha Ricketts with Skylar Aldy. Thanks again to Skylar going down to get that interview as she was emceeing the day here at the ballpark, and also come up to help out and get that post-game interview. So thank you for all her work that she's done for us this season, and thank you to Coach Samantha Ricketts for letting us get the interview, as well as our SID and Brian Ogden. Appreciate that very much for getting all that set up. So thank you very much to those people. That appreciate them very much. And for Mississippi State and for Coach Ricketts, obviously you could be disappointed with the loss. You mentioned that just feel like State hadn't played their best game yet, and you look at it. It's kind of, at least in this series, it just kind of felt at times you were there, and then at times you weren't. And you were alive pitching and defensively in game one. Offensively, you really weren't there as much. And then you had one run, you had some runners on, but you were just kind of here and there. And yesterday, pitching was there for the first 4 innings of the ball game. Then the 5th inning just kind of came and went, and Arkansas went hog wild. It was scoring 8 there in the 5th inning. So again, just a situation where early in the ball game you had that you had the pitching going and the defense going. Then late in the ball game you didn't, and then offensively yesterday you struggled, and then today Arkansas starts off hot offensively, and then they kind of taper off, and your pitching did a good job, your defense did a good job in the middle of the game. Then they get hot late, and then State had answers for Arkansas's runs earlier in the ball game, and then just at the latter part of it just could not find an answer. And so just kind of felt inconsistent all weekend. You had highs, you had a lot of highs, and you had a lot of lows as well. And it was just a tough weekend for State. Obviously, that great win on Friday of the game one, but again, it was a game where you were just kind of a little inconsistent in that one as well. And consistently had great pitching, but the hitting was inconsistent in that ball game, and scoring runs was inconsistent in opportunities that we had. And so again, an opportunity to win the series yesterday and also today, and then you dropped 2 straight by a combined score of 18-3. And so also, too, that just shows you how, obviously shows you how good Arkansas can be whenever they want to be, and when they come on, it all happens so fast. I mean, it's you look, and I mentioned this earlier while the ball game was going on. Arkansas scored 18 runs this entire series, all those coming in games 2 and 3, and all those coming in the 5th inning or later. They were hot late in games 2 and 3, and then you also had two. They had, I believe, it was 13 today, 8 yesterday, so that's 21, then 2 on Friday. So that's 23. 21 of their 23 hits came in the 5th inning. I should actually go back and look at that. They had a lot of hits in the latter half of the inning. I can look at that real quick and let you know, because I might have said that 21 of their 23 hits came later in the ball game, but that wasn't true. So they had, just counting today in the 5th inning on from the 7th inning, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, then you had 5, 6, 7. So 7 hits there out of their 13 came in the 5th through the 5th and 7th innings. So 15 hits in the series out of their 23 came in the 5th inning or later, and all 18 of their runs came in the 5th inning or later in this series. So just impressive how they could go, get moving like that quick. And State just didn't have an answer for it. And obviously, tough to face a blitz like that defensively and just kind of work out of it. Eventually, State did, and it didn't spur to huge numbers. Only the most scored was 3 in the 7th, so didn't get up to like 5. But Arkansas did just enough to add some pressure. State did just enough to get out of it, and then State just couldn't respond offensively late in the ball game. You responded earlier in the game in this one, and just couldn't respond later in the ball game, and that's why you lost the ball game. Again, Arkansas, you just kind of. Their offense has been magnificent all year. You kind of expected something, them to start to catch fire at some point after that struggle in Game 1, and they did late in Game 2, and really all throughout the day in Game 3 they applied pressure, but scored most of all their runs, 7 of their 10 runs today between the 5th and 7th inning. So they applied a lot of pressure, and their most pressure late in this one. So again, a credit to that Arkansas ball club. They are really, really, really good. A team that is going to host, and a team that probably could find themselves in Oklahoma City in the postseason and going to the Women's College World Series. So it's a really solid ball club, and congrats to them on the series win. Good luck to them the rest of the year, unless we face them again, of course, and then. Safe travels them as well back to Fayetteville. But just again, you got to be at least. You had the fight in this ball game and all throughout the series, and I think another opportunity to win in Game 3. You continue to push it to rubber matches in Game 3. You've only grabbed one series so far, but again, you continued to fight, and just. Unfortunately, it's only resulted in one series win, but you've continued to push, and so State's going to be State's a tough team to beat. I mean, they really are. But it takes you a while to get to them. But again, State has struggled to find the series wins, and they can't find one again this weekend. So a tough series loss for Mississippi State. Again, with the loss, the Bulldogs fall to 34-11. And 6-9 in Southeastern Conference play. Arkansas with a win, 35-6 and 10-5 in SEC play. So Arkansas has now won out of their 5 SEC series. They've won 4, and Mississippi State's dropped 4 of their 5 SEC series. So up next for the Bulldogs is Texas A&M on the road next weekend. We'll look at the times for that one real quick so you can have those and you watch them as well. We won't be able to make the trip to College Station with the Bulldog Student Sports Network, but you should be able to watch them. You'll at least be able to watch Game 1 for sure. It's on national television on the SEC Network. Starting at 7:30 p.m. Central Time on Friday. Aggies right now ranked number 14 in the country, so again, just doesn't get any easier for Mississippi State. So you'll have 7:30 on the SEC Network on Friday, and that's at That's at A&M, and then Saturday and Sunday, both of those games on the SEC Network Plus, and Saturday's game at 4 p.m. Central Time in College Station, and Sunday's game 1 p.m. In Central Time in College Station. So a 3-game set against A&M coming up, and then you've got 3 series left in SEC play. So you've got your last home series comes on Super Bulldog weekend, and a 3-game set against LSU starting on Friday going through Sunday, and we'll have all 3 of those games for you on the Bulldog Student Sports Network, both on YouTube and on hailstate.com and the Hail State app. So LSU will come to town for Super Bulldog weekend, a 3-game set there, April 24th through 26th, and then April 30th through May 2nd, you'll have Ole Miss on the road. So you'll travel up to Oxford, make the journey up there. An Ole Miss team that has struggled in SEC play this year, but their 2 conference wins. I think they're 2-12 right now, and trying to get to 3-12 with a win if they can win today over A&M. But they are 2-12 right now, and their 2 conference wins have come against Tennessee. They won a series on the road in Knoxville. So again, it's not a team to be. It's not a team you can mess around with, and obviously it's a rivalry series. State has dominated that series over the past couple of years, so Ole Miss is going to be looking for blood in that one, and so Bulldogs cannot look past anything or look towards the SEC tournament after that. Gotta be locked in. I know Coach Ricketts will have her team dialed in for that series and these next 3 series up. So again, you got A&M on the road next week, Friday through Sunday. And then Super Bulldog weekend, 24th through 26th, Friday through Sunday against LSU here at home. And we'll, like I said, have all those for you on YouTube on the Bulldog Student Sports Network, as well as on with Learfield on hailstate.com and the Hail State app. And then to close out the regular season, the April 30th through May 2nd, Thursday through Saturday series, you've got Ole Miss in Oxford. So that's what you got left. And then the SEC tournament starts on May the 5th, which is a Tuesday. So that's when the SEC tournament starts. It's in Lexington, Kentucky this year, so the Wildcats hosting the Southeastern Conference tournament. So that's what you got coming up for Mississippi State over the course of the year. So A&M next week. Be another tough series. A&M, a solid ball club, have already taken 2 out of 3 from Ole Miss, and so ranked in the top 15. So again, doesn't get any easier in SEC play. Every series so far for State has been against a ranked opponent. Every series but one is going to be against a ranked opponent, unless Ole Miss just gets hot here and somehow finds a way to get ranked. I mean, they have struggled this year, so record is not as great, so it would be tough for them to get ranked. But they could, I guess. But it looks like all but one SEC series will be against a ranked opponent this season, so that just shows you how good this conference is. Speaking of the SEC, look at some scores around the conference right now. A couple of finals, both with Mississippi State losing 10-3, so there's one. And Arizona takes Game 3 over LSU 4-2, so Arizona able to salvage a game in Baton Rouge. But the Tigers did win the series, winning the first 2 games last night and on Friday night. And then a couple games live right now, 4 games live, and then you got one later tonight is Tennessee and Kentucky in Lexington at 5 o'clock Central Time on the SEC Network. Tennessee won last night in Game 1, so looking to take the series against the Wildcats in Game 2. And then the 4 games live right now, you got Florida on top of South Carolina looking for the sweep in the bottom half of the bottom of the 5th inning. Florida looking for that sweep. They're up 6-1 in the bottom of the 5th, so there's that from Columbia. Bottom of the 2nd in Athens, Georgia up 1-0 in the bottom of the 2nd inning on Missouri. That's a rubber match there. Missouri with an upset win, taking a 4-3 win over Georgia yesterday in Game 2, so a rubber match there. Close one so far in Athens, and Georgia has the 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 2nd. Top of the 3rd in Oxford, Ole Miss trying to salvage a game against A&M, and the ball game tied right now in the top of the 3rd, 1-1. Between the Aggies and the Rebels. So, and then the final, you got 2 more live right now. So I miscounted. You had 5 ball games live right now. So you got Oklahoma and Texas in the top of the 3rd right now in Austin. Texas trying to salvage a game out of the series after dropping the first 2 to Oklahoma, and they're up 3-1 right now in the top half of the 3rd inning. Oklahoma has scored a run in the top half of the 3rd, so and it still resides in the top of the 3rd. So Sooners trying to make a comeback in that one. And then in the final game going on right now in Auburn, Alabama, looking for the sweep over their rivals in Auburn, up 2-0 right now, or rather 3-0, going in the bottom half of the third inning. So there's your scores from around the Southeastern Conference, and we can also look to, you had baseball had first pitch today at 1 o'clock, so we can take a look at that real quick and see what the score is over there. So it's right now middle of the fourth inning, going to the bottom of the fourth, 2-0 Tennessee. So Tennessee with a 2-run first inning in that one. Let's look at the scorecard here and see the scoring. So they had a RBI single and also had a runner score on looked like a double play. So a run scored on a double play as well. So Tennessee scored 2 there in the first, and so they will try to win. The Bulldogs will try and win Game 3 and salvage a game in the series. State baseball has dropped now 5 SEC ball games in a row, so you really need to find a win here to give you some sort of momentum heading into next week. You'll face Samford in Birmingham next week, and in the midweek, I believe, on Tuesday. And then let me go look real quick and see, because I can't think off the top of the head who we got next weekend. I know we're going to be on the road, but let me see who we've got next weekend real quick. Go on the road to South Carolina. So, again, State's dropped 5 in a row. Obviously, we'd like to have some momentum going into next week. Try and go 4-0 next week. Carolina 18-19. They've given teams trouble. I mean, took a game from Texas earlier in the season, so at home. So, but they have struggled this year. And for State, feels like a series you need to sweep, especially with how the last couple of series have gone for Mississippi State, and especially if you get swept today. And hopefully that's not the case, but it feels like a series State needs to sweep. And so hopefully the Bulldogs can pull off a win today and then rally next week and go to work there. So they'll be on the road on Tuesday in Birmingham against Samford, and then on the weekend in Columbia against South Carolina. But down right now, the Bulldogs are 2-0 to Tennessee in the bottom of the fourth, trying to salvage a game in a 3-game set over at Dudy Noble Field. And then you also got men's tennis, I think, about to go live here. Apparently they had a 1 o'clock start time, so we've had some matches in progress right now. It's 0-0 still the score so far through the singles. We've had doubles. We're tied at 1-1. So against Alabama. So that's going on right now just behind me at the A.J. Pitts Tennis Center. So we'll have that going on. So stay tuned into that as well. But your final score here, Mississippi in Game 3 softball at News Park, Mississippi State falls 10-3 to Arkansas in Game 3, and they dropped their 4th conference series of the season. So about to sign off here. Appreciate y'all tuning in all throughout the weekend. Appreciate the opportunity from Learfield to be able to broadcast for and be the official radio group for Mississippi State softball. Thank you to Brian Ogden, our softball SID. Thank you to Neil Price, the voice of the Bulldogs. You can listen to him and Jay Powell right now on hellstate.com, the Hell State app, with calling baseball over there at Dudy Noble Field. But thank you to Neil for helping us out as well, getting this settled. Thank you to our communication department sponsor here at Mississippi State University, and Chris Mission for helping us out and getting us set up with this. And thank you to everyone at Learfield, some of our Learfield producers, Ross Swanner, Jonathan Ashley. Thank you to those guys. Thank you to everyone at Learfield for giving us the opportunity to do this. It's a great opportunity. We are thrilled and excited to be the official radio group for Mississippi State softball. So, again, very much appreciative, and very much appreciative to y'all for tuning in this weekend for Mississippi State softball. So I'm going to end it here now. Mississippi State, again, loses 10-3 to Arkansas in Game 3. Bulldogs drop the series. Arkansas moves to 35-6, 10-5 in SEC play. State falls to 34-11 and 6-9 in Southeastern Conference play. Next week, Bulldogs on the road in College Station at Texas A&M for a 3-game set. And then the next home series, which we'll have on the Bulldogs Student Sports Network, on YouTube as well as on the hailstate.com and the Hail State app. Will be Super Bulldog weekend starting on April 24th through April 26th against LSU. So that'll be the next home series that we'll broadcast for you on here on the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. And again, appreciate you tuning in this week. Also, quick reminder, follow the Bulldog Student Sports Network on our socials, on Instagram at Bulldog Student Sports Network, on X at BSSN_MSU, and then subscribe to us on YouTube as well. You get instant notifications as well if you click that notification bell when we go live broadcasting Mississippi State athletic events. Thanks again for tuning in all weekend, and thanks again for tuning in today. Unfortunately, didn't go Mississippi State's way, but you just got to move past it and go into next week. Bulldogs, again, on the road next week in College Station, a 3-game set against Texas A&M starting on Friday. Thank you again for tuning in all weekend, and today I'm Ty Goldman signing off. Everybody have a great rest of your Sunday, and Hail State.
From Learfield, you've been listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Sports Network. Mississippi State Softball has been sponsored by C Spire, customer inspired. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Bulldog Sports Network.